Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the town of Cedar Lake, July 1st, 2026. Plan Commission work session. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Mr. Becker?
Here.
Mr. Carnahan?
Here.
Mr. Parker?
Here.
Mr. Hunley?
Here.
Mr. Pecoro?
Present.
Mr. Swick?
Here.
Mr. Wilkenien is absent. Mr. Kubiak?
Here.
Mr. Sherry is absent. Mr. Burke?
Present.
Mr. Austin is absent. Ms. Heidick is present.
Okay, so we have no attorney, okay. Old business, Robinson Outdoor LLC, constructing off-premise signs. Owner Cedar Lake, 132nd and Morris LLC, 9 Guyana Drive, Foster, Illinois, 60422. Petitioner, Robinson Outdoor LLC, 50 Robinson Industrial Drive, Perryville, Missouri, 63775. Vicinity of Morris Street and 132nd Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Petitioner is seeking permission to construct an off-premise sign. Do we have a petitioner? Yeah, step up to the podium, please. State your name and address for the record.
Danny Marler, Robinson Outdoor, 50 Robinson Industrial Drive.
Tell us briefly what you want to do there again.
We like to construct a 8x16 digital off-premise sign there. It'd be a low-profile sign due to the nature of the location of the property. We're trying to take into consideration the traffic safety and everything else as well. And as we discussed, the opportunities that we allow the city to utilize our boards for, emergency alerts and stuff, the fugitive information, the code silvers, the amber alerts, just the city being able to utilize it to get information out about current events, things that are going on in the community that they'd like to outreach to the community with. We do, like I said in the last meeting, we do reach out to the Chamber of Commerce. We developed a good relationship with them, and nonprofit organizations. We allow them to utilize the space on there. And all the other stuff that I previously mentioned is free charge. We don't charge the city anything. It's, generally speaking, our boards run about 80% occupancy. So we have about 20% of occupancy that the city has at their disposal.
Did you, how high is the sign going to be?
Overall height will probably be right around 20 feet.
And 8x16 is the actual sign
Yeah,
board.
8 foot tall and 16 feet wide, V shape. And each one of the signs actually have auto dimming systems in them as well. So if it's an overcast day or whatever, the sign will actually dim itself down automatically. The state regulates the nits on the sign as well. So we always stay below what the state requirements are, just so we don't ever have any issues with the state as far as that goes as well.
And then when at dusk or later, sometime in the evening, it'll dim down some
Automatically,
right?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. A lot of the on-premise signs that you see in the community and stuff like that, they're not regulated by the auto-dimming systems unless the city requires them for installation. You see a lot of them on the interstate where, like, you go by at nighttime and it's bright as can be. It's very distracting. So,
Sure.
Like I said, we go above and beyond to make sure that, we take a lot of different avenues for the safety issues as far as that goes.
Did you ever find out, or do you know what the other businesses are going to be over there? You said you were going to have possibly 2 more businesses there?
We actually had interest from the electrical co-op that owns the substation there to the left for an expansion.
Okay.
And then
Well, they won't need advertising, so.
No, they just need space to
Yeah.
increase the size of their substation.
Sure.
And then the pizza shop just around the corner there from us was looking at the remaining property for possibly parking.
Tim, you got anything, or?
No, I don't have anything.
Commissioners, anything?
This is the property, by the NIPSCO substation going,
Yeah.
south?
Yes, sir.
So you bought all those lots?
Yes, sir. We're in the process, yes, sir.
And, you speak of a pizza using space down there for parking, what's that, Rosati?
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Any other questions or comments?
So is there a business going in on this, where the billboard is? I see it's on, looks like it's on 16.
Just the parking for business.
Just parking.
Yes, sir. And then the expansion, possibly the substation. And this is all information that I received from the current landowner. You know, he's been contacted by those individual entities to us.
The reason I asked that was because last time he indicated there might be two businesses going in that would be using the sign. Now he says that NIPSCO is interested in it and parking, so there virtually won't be any businesses.
Yeah, I can't speak for what they will
Right,
want to do once they
exactly.
own it or they ascertain that property. I just know those are the two people that voiced
Yes.
interest in there.
Yes, Tim?
I just have a question. Along with the sign, I know you're talking about maybe future, somebody doing NIPSCO using the one part in the actual lot that's on that the sign is going on. I mean, are you proposing a finished product, the sign, the asphalt, parking, like, do we have is that lot gonna be complete as part of the sign project, I guess is what I'm asking? Or are you just planning on putting the sign up and leaving the rest of
Well,
it?
we'll landscape around our sign and stuff.
But the rest of the piece of property is just gonna remain as it is, or
Until the new owner takes
until
ownership. Yes, sir.
something else happens?
Yes, sir.
That was just a question.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Austin, our zoning ordinance allows for this type of advertising that close to residential.
It does.
The other communities are doing this too?
Well, every community does something different.
Well, let's take Winfield for instance. Have they done something like this out there? Have they allowed something like that in, or near a residential zoning district?
No. They haven't.
Well, basically, that whole corridor there is commercial.
Yeah, by the NIPSCO substation, yeah, the other one not so much.
Well, you go from Town Club all the way around that curve to where the sign's gonna be, to the stop sign in the east, it's all commercial, except for the condos and a couple of homes,
No.
you know, so. And I think there's, 500 feet or something from residential? Or that whole thing?
Within 400 feet is the.
Within 400?
Everybody has to come for this regardless. You gotta go for a variance and also site plan.
I just don't know that I'm in favor of seeing these things pop up all over town and flashing, and I think they're a distraction.
If I may, sir, you just briefly mentioned the flashing and all that. By state regulations, we're not allowed to have that at all. There's no motion, there's no flashing, there's no video. Every flip on that sign is instantaneously. There can't be any motion at all. That is regulated by the state.
It's still an illuminated sign, though.
Yes, sir, it is.
When it changes.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. I just wanted to hit on the part of the motion and the flashing and stuff.
Dave, would we get TIF money from this?
There would be improvement, yes.
So we would get TIF money.
Any other questions or comments?
Mr. President,
Yes.
first of all, I apologize for my late arrival. I apologize for that. Number one. Number two, a lot of information is coming forth about this project and end of the property use. And given a lot of experiences we've had in the recent past here in our town, and what we have seen occur in other places as a consequence of not either having an understandable set of regs and requirements, or having the petitioner present sufficient data and information supportive of their request without you having to do their work, seems to be inappropriate or an item that you should consider for processing. All of a sudden, we're gonna find ourselves, and I won't cross the line here, but we're gonna find ourselves doing their work. And then we're gonna be weighing ourselves against each other, against us. So that's my recommendation. If a work study session like this, and I appreciate this gentleman's here and he's making a presentation of sorts, there's a lot of work to do, and a lot of information to be provided, and a lot of code reading to do.
So what does he have to do?
He needs to get our code, he needs to understand what's in it, he needs to tell us what the state regulations are that he just alluded to. He needs to do his work. Foundation preparation.
Have you done any of that, sir?
I don't have it with me, no, sir. We do have it at the office, I don't have it with me. But that can be, I basically follow the guidelines of what I was supposed to send to the office. I just didn't know what else, like you said, you brought up some information that's important, and I understand that, and I'm willing to do that, not a problem.
Well, then you need to, probably touch base with, who would know, Tim? You could tell him what needs to be done, or with a phone call or something, or?
Yeah, are you guys gonna instruct them what you're looking for, what you'd like? I mean, if you wanna compare, I mean, if you guys want a copy of the town ordinance for outdoor sign regulations, we could have that here for you at the next work session. That was kind of a BZA item more, for a site plan. I mean, I don't know, I guess an official, I don't know if you want a landscaping plan, what it's gonna look like around.
It's
I mean,
probably
I guess-
important to know what the site plan's gonna be and what it's gonna look like, finished product. and
Well,
that
agreed,
sort of
and I think that,
Because
you know,
once it's there, we're stuck with it.
100%, and I think some additional parking over there is kind of a nice idea, but to put a sign there and then try to squeeze a building or something else in there, it's not a very large piece of property. It's probably not gonna lend itself to much other use than just the parking, just because of its size, unless you've got some other property, you know, to the east of it, I guess, but just something to consider.
Well, if he were to put a business in there other than what he's talking about right now,
Right, yeah.
he would have to come before us or
Right.
go to the BZA or something,
Right.
right?
Oh, exactly, but I guess seeing that this is a use and an improvement, do you wanna see a sign with some landscaping in that gravel lot for the next 40 years, or do you wanna see, you know, at least a paved area at the least, you know what I mean, something finished, I guess, on that, you know, to finish off the piece of property versus just the sign with some landscaping around it? And how large was that piece of property, the second lot where the sign's proposed? It was,
It's on there.
it's 20,
25.
it's 57 by 82, so once you put that sign on there, you know, there's not gonna be, I mean, I agree that, you know, additional parking is a great idea because, you know, it's something that could be utilized, but, do you guys wanna see that along with the sign, or you just wanna see it remain like it is until?
Well, he doesn't know there's gonna be any parking there yet until,
No, he doesn't know yet, but I guess at the end of the day, if he, you know, if he puts in the parking, they will come, you know, if he can lease it to somebody or have additional parking or whatever. But it's just a thought, I don't know. I don't know what you guys, what all you want him to bring back, I guess that's what I'm asking. So I don't mind, I mean, we gave him he's on track for the BZA for the variance for the night.
And if he's gonna use
For the variance of use for the sign.
the parking for Rosati's, probably need, put the sidewalks there in front of it so they can walk over and go to Rosati's if Rosati's is gonna use it for parking.
Yeah, so I mean, and that's a possible future plan is all, correct? That's just a possible future plan.
Is that where Rosati's would park, would be where the sign is?
I believe, you know, I'm not from here. Mr. Gierzik is the one that actually owns the property. He's the one that actually talked to Rosati's. To my understanding, there's a little bit of lack of parking in that area, and that's why they were interested in buying that for the parking, because I guess they have some conflict of interest with neighbors possibly, as far as parking.
They do have a conflict because the shopping center there have prohibited Rosati's from using the parking, and they tried to get the town club to lease them some property, and they wouldn't do it. So they really don't have enough parking for their facility to accommodate all their customers.
Yes, sir. I was trying to be respectful of the other businesses in here. I wasn't trying to badmouth anything, but I did see the signs in the parking lot, and that's kind of what it led me to believe that's what the issue was. I just don't want to pass judgment.
So you're still gonna own the property, if you lease it, you would be leasing property, or the owner would be leasing property to Rosati's and not selling it to Rosati's?
Actually, what we would do, sir, is we would actually record an easement where the sign footage is. The footage of the sign, let's say 30 foot by 30 foot, or 20 by 20, because this is only 8 by 16. And then the rest of the property would be up for sale for Rosati's if they would be interested in developing the property to their specifications. That's not typical something that we would do unless we have to.
Well, then the way I see it is that I would like to see the site plan with landscaping and what the sign's gonna look like, landscaping and that. Do you need to get to the sign for maintenance?
I'm sorry, I can't.
Do you need to get to the sign for maintenance?
Yes, just, once it's constructed, it will just basically be a pickup truck with a ladder. We just go up and replace tiles.
So do you need a
We'll have an
path,
ingress, egress.
a
yes,
drive
sir.
to get in there?
Ingress and egress, yes, sir.
Okay, so then I would like to see where the sign's location is, the landscaping around it, and how you're going to, where it, in and out
Yes, sir. No problem.
for it, on that. Then when he sells the sign, I think it would be up to, the sign, the property there, Rosati or whoever buys it. They come in to develop, it's up to them to put sidewalk in, the paving for parking and whatever they're gonna do there, is the way I look at it.
I kinda look at it, whoever owns the property right now, if we got a site plan, we look at it and we need to have a sidewalk going there so that if any future development is in there, that, we don't have to deal with somebody else down the road.
That's a good point.
You talking about the sidewalk, is that what you were talking
Yes,
about? Yeah.
along your property going just up to that substation there, then they have to, there's a path like a roadway, and then they could go through, the shopping center sidewalks to get to Rosati's, if Rosati's was the one that would be leasing that.
I guess that's
The
what
next
you guys
thing-
want, if that's what he needs to put that on the, show that also on the.
Yes.
The
We
next
can
thing-
actually make that a restriction to our contract of the sale of the property as well.
Next thing that ought to be considered is, if we're gonna have a limit on things like this, are we gonna allow this type of thing all the way to the town limits? Because there's a whole lot of vacant lots between there and south end of town. And there is on the other side of town too. How many of these things do we wanna see? That's what concerns me down the road.
Well, the petitioner also said something about carving out easement or a parcel for sign improvements. And when you start getting into carving out statutorily and by our ordinance, that's a replat of something that exists and is in one unified ownership. So that would add a modicum of other requirements, all of which are hand in glove with what the engineers or site plan people do, but don't want to forget that. We don't want to forget it.
I got a question on the signs proposed for just lot 15 and 16. Is that all we're looking for? Because 12 and 13, I believe that's the one that's up against the substation. So right now, are we just looking for him to give us a site plan for 15, 16?
All he's asking for, the way I understand, all he's asking for is, off-premise sign for 15 and 16, or whatever that is. Correct. So I don't see why he would have to give us a site plan for the other ones if he's not doing anything on there.
No, sir.
Correct? He's not in for that, he's just in for the sign.
So you're just proposing to buy 12, 13, and 15 and 16, correct?
No, sir.
Or all that, 16 through 20? 15 through 20?
Down, it goes all the way down to
All the way through 20?
19. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. That all belongs to the hardware store right behind.
Okay. Well, that makes more sense, and I'm sorry, I thought you were just, I was looking at my screen was blown up, and I was looking at the 28 by 82, or the 57 by 82, and then once you take out the 20 by 20, what are you gonna build there? But that's a pretty big, the other one's a pretty big piece of property where that's not gonna really keep it from something else happening in the future, I guess, so. I was looking at I didn't see the bottom line on my thing, so, my fault. Or Cheryl's fault, I like to blame her.
Blaine.
You had to pull up real big. You'll pay for it. My fault.
And just so the board understand, I mean, this is my third time being up here. I met one time with city officials prior to our very first meeting
Sure.
that we had. This was my third meeting, second with you guys as well. We're just trying to do everything we can to do it by the book. We want to be a part of the community. We don't want to be a problem in the community, that's for sure. It's not why we're here.
And when you come in, we want you to do it according to our ordinances and so that you
100%.
understand what
Yes, sir.
we're requiring and that we understand that
Yes, sir.
you're in agreement with it or exactly what all you're doing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I guess you need to familiarize yourself with our ordinances a little more. As far as the sign, we want to see a site plan with, where the sign's gonna be located, with the ingress and egress on it, and the landscaping around it,
Sure.
and the sidewalk.
No problem.
And the sidewalk just has to be in front of the two lots we're talking about here now.
Whatever property he owns, he should have a sidewalk there.
Well, now, if he's not developing on the other properties, he doesn't have to put a sidewalk in at this time. I think he just needs to put the sidewalk in if you want it on where the sign is going. That's what he's talking about.
That's
But isn't he talking about making a parking lot there?
Well,
Then he'd have to come back in and then they'd have to do a sidewalk at that time, and he ought to get it done at one time and save money.
We would be building the parking lot. It would be Rosati's that would be actually doing the development of the property if they so purchase.
You're gonna sell the property?
Yes, sir. To two local businesses.
Tell them what you want.
I'd like to see the sidewalk. The biggest complaint I get from town is that we don't have enough sidewalks in town. And if this could make it so it's a livable area, like a community that can walk to wherever they need to go instead of driving.
So what you want him to show on his site plan is all the property that he's talking about here, with, the lots 15 and 16, where the sign's going, with the landscaping on it, the driveway, and the sidewalk going from, lot 12 through lot 20. Is that what you're asking about?
If he owns lots 12, 13, and 14, do you own them too? I just see 15 through 20 on here.
12 and 13 are lots, 14 is a roadway, 15 through 19 are actually the other 5 properties.
Okay, so 12 and 13 is next to the NIPSCO station.
Yes, sir.
And then you got 132nd, and then you're on the south side of that.
Yes, sir. Again, like I said, we can make that a restriction on the sale of the property as well.
Yeah.
That would be a contingency that we have to put in there, it's not an issue.
Well, as I serve on Northwest Indiana Regional Planning, livable community is trying to have sidewalks, and we have a business district there where, right now, people from Robin's Nest could almost walk, once we put another sidewalk over there, all the way down to, Sandbar, Dairy Bell, or Dollar General.
Yes, sir.
We have a town complex out here, no sidewalks, north and south, or east and west. Their property they can walk
But
to.
we've got a plan for it.
Well,
And, we've got engineering on it right now.
all right, let's stay on point here, okay? So I'm confused as to where you want him to show a sidewalk wherever he owns property.
I'm just one.
Pardon?
I'm just one person.
I know, but I'm trying to
Yeah,
understand.
I would like to see it, along his property. That's my opinion.
I don't know that you can request him to put in a sidewalk on a piece of property that isn't getting developed. If there's some development happening on a certain piece of property, that's what it's been in the past, am I right?
You are right, and I'd point out for the record and for your own thoughts that we are now talking about air. We don't have a single plan in front of us. We don't have a single specific from this gentleman or his buyer, and we're now kind of guessing at everything. He needs to come back, he needs to present to you, he needs to do some work. Or not, that's up to you.
He's got a site plan here, it just doesn't show the future,
Did you not get a rendering as well? Did a digital
the
rendering?
future lease space.
It might not have came through on one of the attachments, but I know we sent the site plan from DVG
Yeah, I got the site
and
plan.
then from Crown Point, and then we also sent a rendering attached to it showing the actual signage on there. It may not have attached when we sent it over, but we can make
We
it
just got
happen.
the application.
Which it's already done, I know that, I do that when I'm back in the office.
I don't have a rendering in my packet.
Well, there's not one on here.
And I'll check with Michelle why it didn't attach, I apologize. That is on me, I apologize for that, but I know we did a rendering for that location, specifically for that.
Well, that may help me.
Yes, sir.
Can you just, then you can just put the proposed lease space on the site plan if you're gonna do a 20 by 20 or
Yes, sir.
whatever, so that way
And
they
that should be
know.
on that site plan that you got.
It's not, it shows the proposed billboard, but I don't see,
Yeah, I thought it was 12 and 13 and 15 and 16, but you're only proposing for 15 and 16,
Yeah.
one billboard, correct?
Yes, sir, just one.
it shows it's 29.5 off of the, and then 17.6 to the pole, but it doesn't show like a future unless it's on the side notes or something, but.
So it seems like, we need to have him back here at another work session, with, more details.
Well, I think, yeah, because you're asking for him to show the sidewalk, where the sidewalks go, and, we want to make sure he's familiar with, and the drive and the landscaping, so, yeah,
That's fine.
that. So that would be in a month. Okay, understood?
I'm fine with that. Yeah. One of the other things you brought up earlier too, with having a visual emergency alert system as well, when you start applying for federal grants and stuff, having visual and audio, that does help on, when you're applying for federal grants as well. That's why, one of the reasons why we incorporated it. We were actually working with the developers of our sign structures where we could actually attach audible sirens to our boards as well, but that's all that it would be utilized for. It wouldn't be for announcements or anything like that. It would just be.
Well, if we could have all that in a package with everything so that we understand exactly what you're gonna do, because it doesn't state any of that here.
Yes, sir.
You might have said this already. Do you have another one of these in the general vicinity?
We just got approved last week for one in Hobart. And
It's not built yet, though?
No, sir. We did build one in Wabash. We did another one in Kendallville.
Yeah, you said out there by the Harley Davidson.
Yeah, like Brant's. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. They're actually getting a Wawa gas station there too now, so But, yeah, the next one that'll be built by the end of this month would be there in Hobart on 30, right by Grand Street.
Are you connected with Lamar Signs, or are you an independent?
Independent. We're a family-owned business, not a corporation.
Okay. Everybody good?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. See you in a month.
Thank you. Yep,
Okay,
appreciate
thank
it.
you.
Mr. Wilkening's here, will you allow him to be seated and
Yes, where is he?
present for the record?
Jerry, you coming up? Hurry up, I need my ears. That's fine. All right, number 2, Majeski site plan waiver, owner Hidden Sons, 13733 Wicker Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Petition Norman Majeski, 13318, 13324 Wicker Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Vicinity of 13318, 13324 Wicker Avenue, Cedar Lake. Petitioner is seeking to expand business use to the second building. Good evening,
Good evening.
name and addresses, please.
My name is Roy Dominguez. I'm the
Yeah,
attorney
I've
for
got-
Grand Prize Auto. We have Norm
Yeah.
Modesty here, and we have the owner of the property, Rob Henn, as well. Answer any questions that you might have, and I believe Norm has distributed a copy of a plan that he's been able to prepare for your review.
Okay, so,
Which is just an extension of the business.
understood. I don't have a problem with what he's requesting to do. We just need to get the parking squared away,
Sure, yes, right.
basically. And how many spots are you looking for here? 63. See, now, I look at this diagram that I'm looking at here, and you've got lot 10, 18, 26, and 34 are right against the road at angles, and those spots are angled spots or cut, and I know the cars aren't gonna fit in them. So those, you're gonna have to lose those spots. You got a truck sitting in the first one, when you pull in off the street, that the bed's in the spot and the front end's out in the drive. So, I mean, those spots will have to be, you can't utilize those for parking a vehicle in them, because it's blocking the roadway.
That's what I was noticing too, those 5. And those 5, right? The correct? 10, 18, 26, 30, and 34?
Yeah, I missed 30, yes, correct. So,
Because if you have an emergency vehicle back there, say a fire truck has to get back there, vehicles it's gonna be blocking the way, or an ambulance, or...
yeah, by the second building you wanna, yeah. When you pull in off the street, how would they?
We can rearrange the car somewhere else and make that just for the customers.
I don't want a car parked in there, because it doesn't fit.
Right, I had looked today, but we try to be inside the line, there's a line drawn, so we normally try to be inside the line.
I went past there several days in a row. Whatever vehicle you have in there does not fit. That's what I'm saying. If the vehicle does not fit,
Gotcha, it needs to be smaller.
the town says a parking spot is 10 by 20. Now, you want all these spots to be 10 by 20? No, you don't. Okay, you're gonna lose those 5. Okay? Thank you.
Got it.
So, John,
Now,
that was,
now, the other thing is, you've got 5 designated spots for staff, customers, and visitors.
Yes.
I would like to see that raised to 10. If you're gonna have that many spots, cars, vehicles in there, I think you're gonna have the customers, and I think you're gonna need more than 5 spots.
Okay.
Okay? So 63 minus 10, you're down to 53 right now. Okay? I also, now this is just my opinion, these gentlemen here have to agree on it, and of course you guys do too. I would like to see whatever vehicle you park, wherever you park it, that is between painted lines. Which means nothing on the grass, nothing without any painted lines, just in the designated areas. Okay, that's the way I look at it. Other than that,
Don't we have to have at least one ADA compatible
and what?
for disabilities?
Well, he's got 5 designated, he can take one of those.
I'm
and
saying
make
because
it-
if one takes wider,
Well, that,
with the wheelchair or something.
he has to comply with the
Because that's,
ADA Act,
Right.
American Disability Act, so, yeah, he knows that, so he'd have to make this
Measure
right.
out and draw something up to really-
Yeah. Any other comments?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
I was having trouble following along. You were counting space 10, 26, and 34. What were the other ones?
10, 18, 26, 30, and 34.
Okay.
They all run right along that road.
They were eliminated.
34.
Right.
He says you're gonna do,
On the other side of isn't there some parking between 41, or some space for parking between 41 and to the east of 35 and 46 for some employee parking in there possibly?
If I may, John, you were talking about,
Sure.
eliminating 18, 26, 30, and 34. Those are on the outside. That road is demarked with bollards at present. So those lots might be up against the bollards, but they don't conflict with the road. And then to answer your question, yes, there are spots on that south side.
Okay.
But will that be eliminated once the turn lane is put in?
No, turn lane doesn't affect that entry coming into that property.
Have they negotiated, getting, space from you?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Both entrances stay the north and the south up to 41. They're not taking they're taking up to the grass, basically, so it doesn't affect the existing parking lot.
The bollards you're talking about, they run parallel to 41.
No, you said.
On that road, says drive aisle.
Correct, the bollards are on the north side of that drive aisle, all the way down. Because we came in before you, probably 3 or 4 years ago, and that was one of your requests to put those bollards in, to divide those spots from the drive aisle. So there are those yellow bollards along that drive aisle now, so I mean, the way I see it, those parking spaces are on the other side of the bollards, they don't conflict with the roadway at all.
No, I'm not, what I'm talking about is south,
Oh, south, with that way.
where it cuts the angle.
Okay, I'm sorry.
See where it's cutting the,
So,
Yeah.
that was 35 and 36. That was, you got on that drawing.
yeah, 34, 30,
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah.
The 35, 36, 37, 38, they all fit.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything about that.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm just trying to get the parking squared away,
Sure.
that's all.
sure.
I'm fine with everything else.
And your concern was that if a fire engine or an ambulance needs to get in there, correct?
Or a truck unloading cars or what have you, yeah, I mean, safety for emergency vehicles and, yeah, I mean,
Well, the tow truck in the back.
To the west of the former All Tire building, how deep are those spots? Those look like you could double stack inventory in there.
I don't know, Normally.
He's got two extra.
Oh, he's got two.
He had them double when he brought it here 2 weeks ago.
Oh, I see.
At least ones behind the building, actually you could put more, but since I tried to do it with 63 cars, this is what I originally bought. So when we tried to put it on a program to figure out the best way to line the lot up, so it doesn't look.
I'm just looking at this from the best perspective for you and Robbie going forward.
Could I see one of those? I don't have that in my packet.
It's something that's enforced, that can be enforced going forward. I think also that other space with a setback from 41, of course, that I spoke of before, to the east of the current building or the Altair building. I mean, that, I don't know how many employees you have there on a daily basis.
One or two.
So, if you, is there a time that you might have 3 employees and yourself?
So I
Are you counting yourself in that?
No, I drive a car off the lot, so I usually park it where I take it from.
Okay.
So like when I leave today, say I took the car for any space, I don't have glasses, I apologize. Say I took a car from, say space 14, because it came in and was parked there, I might take that home today, then they'll bring it back in the morning, park it back there, and then take a different car the next day. I don't necessarily drive a specific car.
Okay. Well, however this shakes out, you're gonna be held to it. That's the reason why I wanna make it as good as possible for you and as safe as possible for everybody else.
Here's the way, you know, the one way to look at it is, this is the best case scenario, is Norman leasing this building, because, you know, he's next door. If we were to lease this building out, because it's a separate piece of property.
I completely agree that
You would have more employees,
more traffic, more
traffic.
parking.
This is the best case scenario, is him having it, because they really gain no more employees, and really not, no more customers come than he already has. So it is the best case scenario having him there.
Yeah. Customer parking has been a problem in the past too. That, I mean, we need to get that
And
hammered
it
out.
needs to be labeled, you know, so that.
Well, that's why I said,
Yeah.
let's go to 10 spots. I mean, if it becomes a problem with customers, you don't have enough, then you're gonna have to, you know, lose some.
I guess what I'd like to see
inventory.
is what you can get in here up to a certain point. I know there's some space there. Is that grass? You know what I'm talking about, Rob?
So right here is grass here, there's some designated parking that Altair had specified for.
Anything from Butch's house towards
Yeah.
41 is grass. So there is some spots in front of all, you know, Altair's building. But I would think probably, I don't know the exact dimension, unless you do know where that grass starts.
Yeah, I don't, it's hard to tell from this, I don't know if Tim's been out
You
there.
got the GIS picture on your iPad, if you look just below this application. You can kind of see.
That's grass there.
And these 10 customer spots we're talking about, are we saying those are for employees too?
What?
Because if not, we're talking opening this other building, there's gonna be more employees, you gotta have spaces for these employees to
Well, I guess that's what, I'm smelling what you're cooking too. That's it. That's why I kind of want to have him hammered down to what number of employees are going to be there on a daily, because they need a designated parking space.
And he's not going to gain any more by having the extra building, which is why this was an ideal situation. And I guess my question would be, do we need employee parking? On which lot do we have employee parking? Because do they come to the office, or do we have to have employee parking on both?
I think just designated employee parking, as long as it exists the way that it is with the addition of the Altair building. It's not a far walk.
That's true.
So, but it needs to be designated employee parking, not more inventory.
Well, I'm also thinking about down the road, if Norman ever does say someday, folks, we don't have this situation again, should we have a couple employee parking spaces on, you know,
Well, that's my point, that's what I heard
Well,
you say. is
down
future.
the road, Mr. Henn, was something we discussed here. This will be the third or fourth time.
Well, down the road.
Just one, no, hang on, just one more. The next time we do this, we're gonna clean it all up, just one more. So my question, Mr. Burke, is this. I asked Luke to whip something together.
Yeah.
Will everything he wants to do, that he submitted 2 weeks ago, will everything fit on that property?
And Luke prepared a plan that showed 60 spots, but it did not, at that time, there was not, but 10, there were 7 designated customer parking spots at the 10 by 20. The rest of them were, the 9 by 18.
Okay, but everything that has been submitted will fit in this property?
Yes,
It will fit?
yes.
Okay. I think the other thing, Mr. Austin, you know, the rules of use, by going expanding this again, potentially. And all the questions I've heard since I sat out here would have been answered with an engineered site plan. No doubt about it. But we have the north lot is the one that's not a legal lot of record, or meets and bounds, I'm sorry. The north lot is the meets and bounds property, so we have a business, one business blurbing across two pieces of property. One's, I'm gonna call it legit, and one's in need of some help.
Yes, this lot one we came in and cleaned up and all tighter for the addition, we one lot
Yes.
subdivision. And,
So I think the other question I have is, not lumped together, Mr. Dominguez, but in totality. This is a new plan, new deal, whatever you want to call it. And Norm, you got cars everywhere. I just came from almost the UP of Michigan, and 3 days ago I saw a car that said Grand Price Cars on it. So I know you're doing a good business. This is about the property. This is not about your business. How many waivers, individual waivers, need to be granted for the use of this now again? Because we're entering into a new deal. It's an expanded deal from before. Rob has just one more, and we have prior to when Grand Price Cars came, there probably were waivers also. But we've done waivers for all tire in totality almost. No blacktop, no stormwater, no water line extension, nothing. We then expanded the body shop, just one more. Now we've expanded the all-tire building again, just one more. These one mores are starting to add up to a...
But there's no, I mean, this particular request is zero expansion of the current facility. The buildings are there, the parking lot is there. It's just a repurposed use of the existing building. So, I mean, I get what you're saying, but I understand what you're saying 100% if they were adding on another addition to the building or whatever. But, I mean, the current structures are in place, the pavement is in place, the use is there. I mean, essentially...
And not only do we need this is a question, not only do we need a waiver, we need a waiver of all developmental subdivision rules, correct? I mean, we're just asking for a waiver of a site plan and continuing to let this property slide along as it is. Just one more. So Mr. Austin, does making a new deal make a whole new deal with a whole new list of rules?
It does. When you read the ordinances specifically, it does. There's a change such as been suggested, or multiple changes, sequential, progressive, changes over time.
I think for clarity, the waivers, all the waivers need to be listed, because it's everything. Again.
Well, if I may.
Yes, sir.
Well, the waivers have already been approved previously. We're not asking for any waivers.
But
It's
now-
just a matter of restructuring what's already existing, what we've mentioned already. And I know you're trying to lump it all together. I don't see how we're not asking you to rescind what you've already approved. We're simply restructuring what already exists and what you've previously approved.
Well, what Mr. Austin
now
just
we're
told...
just doing the parking space. And so you're talking about a whole new deal and everything else. It's already existing. We're only asking to
It's
to
existing,
expand in
Mr.
what's
Dominguez,
already
it's
been approved.
existing non-conforming, and what Mr. Austin just said is different than what you just said. So now I'm really confused.
Which is why I wanted to speak up, and I thank you very much.
No, I get it, and I know you don't have all of this, but,
And that's why we brought.
Well, Jerry, in lot one, the old altar is conforming, that's one lot subdivision. We only received a waiver for sidewalk, I opened minutes from that.
there was sidewalk, there was water line extension, there was stormwater, there were, resurfacing.
I think you
There
got
was-
that confused with auto touch.
No, I have it, I have it, well, I have 6 pages of excerpts from 2022, and all the discussions that were had at this podium. And, just one more.
Well, and Terry, we're only talking about lot one, which is conforming,
I understand.
okay? And he is here for a chapter 17, because he wants to occupy that building. And we're
Well,
looking at his existing with this one now.
Well, let's back up. There's 3 pages, chapter 17, and the waiver is for page 3. Shall have engineered site plan. This GIS picture, Tim, in here, shows part of the property to the west, not even where it's supposed to be. If I'm looking at this right, the west side of, behind the body shop. What I have here is in blue, so, I understand, but I think we need all the waivers. We need some rules that everybody's gonna abide by. And
Well, I mean,
Greg said.
it currently is abiding. I mean, we're not having any issues with, one's complaining about parking, since Norm has taken up. By both of it, it's kind of cleaned it
So
up.
is he better off leaving his auto shop with his existing conditions and then just coming in for the Altair property as a second location?
Well, now we have,
I mean,
we still don't
I'm
have,
asking because
well, I know, and I know at the end of the day, as you say, what matters, what I think matters, and the reason we're up here is to make sure that things like this don't get left like this for years. Again, there's a 6-page excerpt of minutes from 2022 about what was discussed here. Okay? And all the waivers, all the waivers that have been discussed before, Mr. Austin said they won't still apply, if that's what I understood, and Mr. Dominguez said they would still apply. So we you know, what are we doing here? If we're gonna go, we need some details other than a waiver of a site plan. And I also would like to know if the state happens to take more than what you think, and those cars up front are,
I've already got a contract signed in one evening.
okay, if for any reason, space is lost, is it lost forever, or do we just pack them in tighter?
Well, I guess we'll deal with that when they come in and see, and ask for any, additional property.
Well, that's the problem, Mr. Dominguez, is the asking.
Yeah, we'll see.
Mr. Hen said, get in the building, Norm's been working in the building. It's not a secret.
Right.
Getting this here now and getting this cleaned up is what we're supposed to be doing. So,
You know, Jerry, but you seem to be like trying to clean up, the other lot, which we're only here for lot one, technically. We're here for site plan approval, for site plan chapter 17, for lot one.
Well, I mean, they are kind of married up because
They are, which
it's
is why
an expansion of.
did you just use that word?
Yeah, I did,
Gary.
yeah.
And that's
What's the
what we're
matter
trying to
with me?
comply. And we complied all the way along, Jerry. You know, you said we.
I know.
More, but
I-
until Kentucky Fried Chicken comes and buys the place, this is what we're stuck with. So we've got to make the best of it.
When are they coming?
Well,
So my fear is, Norm says the heck with it and doesn't come, because this is too, you know, this just isn't gonna work for my business model. Then my options are, I get another tire shop to rent it, I run a mechanic shop. And then we're really in trouble, because then we've got more employees, more customers, more cars that aren't for sale, nice cleaned up cars, we've got cars that are, got problems.
on the weekends, there's some very nice cars out there, Mr.
That's what I
Hen.
mean. So the point is, this is the best scenario that is.
I'm talking about the property, not particularly the use,
That's where
this
you're
is-
for
this-
the use.
but it's all married.
It is married.
But we're complying with the previous, exceptions or things that were done.
Well,
We're not
that-
doing
that-
anything other than just making the property situation more structured and to comply with your wishes.
Well, and I think that needs to be on paper, Mr.
I've been sitting here
Dominguez.
studying this, and I guess I was confused when I talked about that space that I thought was there before. you kind of squared this out and expanded it out, and then you put an aisle in the middle up, going up to space 43, and that's where that garage door is, that overhead door, right? Is that?
Right here. That's what it is.
Yeah.
This aisle he's talking about right here. Is
That's
that-
what to allow,
This
yeah.
aisle is here.
Is that existing or is that addition? What are you gonna do with this aisle?
Well, from the fence back, we park cars. So right now, there's cars parked here, going.
Unless I counted wrong, and I might have.
Yeah, that's just, as I understand, just kind of to park the cars on those two sides of the aisle, just to get the cars in and out.
Well, it's more for in case somebody wants to walk between.
Yeah, but if you wanted to use that overhead door, all you gotta do is move one.
It's not big enough for a car.
Oh, it's not?
No, it's just back.
I see.
It's not, it just vents the garage. Because the garage, we used to be, back at the first, when we added on to the building, we just moved the door forward so they go to back there.
I see.
It's not really, it's not big enough to drive a car. Bicycle, motorcycle, but nothing like that.
But it's not intended to be a driveway for in and out of that.
The door's too small, the door's too small.
Mr. Austin, anything we do here could interfere with the 41 expansion. It doesn't sound like it would.
Robbie, you know what they're taking already. You said you got the check in hand and you know, what are they taking?
They're taking nothing from all tires, lot 110. They're taking up to the grass. In fact, the sign doesn't have to move. The light poles and the sign have to come down.
So you're not losing any parking, you're losing the grass.
Yeah,
Let's,
lose
is
nothing
that,
that affects business.
is that a simple way to explain it?
Yes.
It's the grass.
Correct.
So no more cars parked in the grass, that's a guarantee.
Yeah.
In front of,
They'll be moving.
in front of Grand Rise Tire, they're taking nothing.
Well, unless it's a weekend. So,
Dave, Jerry, I think still has questions for you, right?
yeah,
We're debating on the grass, I'm sorry.
well, we're stuck in the grass, it seems. That property not having stormwater, are there any boomerangs to us when they have to make those adjustments, modifications to 41?
You've gotta believe that NDOT's gonna engineer it so it doesn't have a problem. I would believe that, I would advise you to all believe that.
Are you
Okay.
are you gonna extend that water line when they, in concert with this widening project?
Well, like I said, all the drainage goes to 41 ditch now. The structures, the manholes and the parking lot for both parcels, both run independently up to the road ditch. So whenever the state takes over and redoes the, whatever the curbs and the drainage, that will be tied in at that point by them because it's already in the ditch.
So they're gonna run the water line?
But only in front of the car lot.
He's talking stormwater, you're talking potable water?
Yeah, I'm
Water?
talking, aren't we waiting for a water line over there?
Oh,
We're
I'm sorry, I
not,
thought you were talking about storm drainage.
we're not waiting for a water line extension? I thought that was one of the hangups from before.
We got water to, McDonald's, right?
Yeah, sometime somebody's gonna put water there at some point.
And that was one of the waivers.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna volunteer
Multiple
to do
times.
it once we found out what was going on with 41. That's the way I remembered it, but.
I was reading all the minutes, Greg, and I didn't see anything about that. We talked about the injuries and the storm drainage and the
But
sidewalk.
I think that,
Dominic made it with sidewalk.
I think that his statement and the idea was that when these buildings went and it got developed into something different and cleaned up, they would run the water line, but for now, they were trying to utilize these three existing businesses, but.
Well, and which is exactly my point from 20 minutes ago. We're gonna do it, not yet. We're gonna do it, not yet. Just one more.
All right, here, wait, I look to see this. This gentleman will come in here, he's got a vacant building he wants to use. He's here on chapter 17. He wants the site plan waiver. We're saying he doesn't have enough parking. He comes up, we got this parking. We went over the parking. He's agreed to put at least 10 more spots in for customers and staff and what have you. He's gonna lose 5 spots, so he's down to 53. spots right now.
I was looking for that number, thank you.
50, he's got 63 is what he said when he walked in here. We're taking five away from,
63.
from inventory and 5 from parking there along the entrance drive. So he's down to 53. Okay, I see no development going on here. I see nothing here that has to make these people do something other than ask for their waiver and get squared away with the parking, which is what we're doing. I don't see where any of this shoulda, woulda, coulda. If the dog gonna stop to smell the roses, he would've caught the cat. I mean,
I do have one more.
what's he here for?
I have one more question, Mr. President.
Yes.
Based on what we're looking at here and what was discussed at the last meeting, what's your plan for unloading cars now? Because it's not gonna be on the side of 41 anymore.
Well, until we figure out when we lose our space. Now, we ship maybe 20 cars a month, maybe. So that's multiple trucks, but they're not all my trucks. I think there was a misunderstanding with my ex-neighbor because
Norm, there was a misunderstanding with me. I came out of there with a minibus one day that I had fixed at the body shop, and I about got killed getting out of there, which is bad enough.
On the other part, when we have a truck come, I was gonna clear it with Tom, if we park a car and make them go out to the other driveway. So in other words, when we have a truck out front, one of ours that we have control of, we park a car so we can't go out that way, and then they would be forced to go along the used car lot and out the opposite driveway.
Norm, I can get along with what you got here and the 53 spots and employee and customer parking. I ain't gonna go along with you parking trucks on the side of the road, whether they're yours or somebody else's, anymore. That's done. So we're gonna have to come up with a plan for that.
Well, if they're smaller trucks, they can pull out the lot. If they're big trucks,
If you can get them out of there safely, I'm all about that. If you gotta go down to where Watt Energy Systems used to be and unload them down there and bring them back, or the rail side and unload them over there and bring them back. But this car carrier business on the side of US 41, where you can't see to get out of there, is ridiculous.
Right, tell me where you want me to have trucks unloaded. I don't
Somewhere
know-
else.
Right, I don't know the whole area to.
Well, I would think, Norm, and Greg, to answer your question, I would think, you don't use, you're not like all tire, you don't use the doors in front of the building on a continuous basis, you're not moving cars in and out. There should be no reason that you couldn't pull the truck in,
Right.
unload them there, and in the truck, you just have to leave some room so you get, back
Right,
out.
if it's a smaller truck.
Smaller truck, not a problem, but I get it, I know there's an issue with the McDonald's, trucks parking and going to McDonald's too there. And that's all going away.
And I want that to get dealt with too, but we have to get this dealt with before we make something to get that done. At the end of the day, Robbie, I just don't want nobody to get killed
No,
out there.
I've been in and out there 100 times, come close. But there should be no reason he can't pull in alongside the building and unload those. And he's gonna have to, because it's going away anyway.
We gotta come up with a different plan for that.
The issue of getting it done, rather than, is this sufficient area to get it done, rather than having it come here?
Right, you can, a majority of the trucks can.
So are we good with?
So, hang on.
A majority of the trucks can, if they're too big, they'll have to go somewhere else, we just can't figure out where it's at.
So he's in agreement that, for sure, no more trucks parking there off of 41. It is a hazard, without a doubt. If you look at the site plan there between the two buildings, you can move those trucks in there, and where, if the trucks doesn't fit in there, where they can come in and turn around and unload, they're just gonna have to go somewhere else. Where would you take them if they're too large?
I get to figure out, So some guys unload behind McDonald's when it's not busy. Like some guys can't figure out, like, say, one of the McDonald's customers in the spot, then they go unload behind McDonald's.
But effectively, immediately, no more parking up front, or unloading up front.
The other trucks, I've had a couple run-ins with other truck drivers that are not mine. One guy pulled out a tire iron, so I just,
Well, that, like I said, Norm, that's gonna get solved when this.
Right, we can't park there.
So it's just gonna be done.
We're gonna request that PD starts addressing that type of thing.
Absolutely.
But in this particular instance, it was somebody delivering cars to you where I couldn't see to get out of there. It's hard to see out of a, I don't know if you've ever driven a minibus or not. It's hard to see out of a minibus anyway. And you add that line of sight blockage to that, and the traffic on 41. It's just incredible. And I'm sitting there shaking my head and wondering why this has been allowed to go on as long as it has. So I wanted to make sure that that got addressed with this issue. I don't have a problem with you in your service center, as long as you got a designated employee lots and a designated number of cars. You're not parking in the aisle anymore. People can see to get in and out of there. They got plenty of room to get in and out of there. Things aren't all over the place. That's what we're looking for. So, at least that's what I believe we're looking for.
I think that's what we have accomplished to this point right now.
So to your comment, Mr. President,
Yes.
the waiver is for a site plan. And a site plan, an engineered site plan, which encompasses everything. Everything involved with an engineered site plan, which is why I asked Luke to see if truly everything fit on the lot. Tim had told me he was pretty sure it did, and that's great, it all fits on the lot. But we're talking about two separate pieces of property, existing, non-conforming 50%, and everything that goes along with it. What Mr. Austin had commented when I asked about the new deal is a new deal. Dave implies that we need everything laid out perhaps again. Okay? Roy said otherwise, because we're only doing this. We bring these little pieces in, these big pieces turn into big messes. That's why,
I didn't say it
that's
turned
why
into
I'm
a big
asking.
mess.
Huh?
I didn't say it turned into a big mess.
No, I said it.
Yeah.
No, I said it.
Yeah, I just don't want to say
I said it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm bringing this stuff up, because none of this is new. To most of us, it's not new.
Okay, well, you've heard my opinion, I heard yours.
Okay.
So let's tell these gentlemen what they have to do.
Well, I'm gonna ask Mr. Austin again, now that we're expanding, we're modifying the use again, do we need terms and conditions?
You do.
Okay,
That's what I'm after.
okay, all right.
I'm after.
Because they need to be enforceable.
That's what I'm after.
Okay.
Okay, so what terms and conditions do we need?
Everything, this is just my feelings. Can I throw them out there? You okay?
Oh, yes, definitely, because,
As long as all of his inventory is parked in a designated spot, and his employees and customers are also parked in a designated spot, and he conforms with that, and he's not unloading cars on the side of the road anymore. And I like the idea of having them marked out, so it's easy for somebody to go in there and see if somebody has to go over there for enforcement. I'm good, I think.
I agree with that 100%.
So,
Any other terms? Anybody?
does anybody see any? Tim?
No, I would just like, I like the idea of the spots, but I also like I like the 53 or a solid number of cars
Yeah.
for sale, and then
That was the number we've discussed.
whatever that number is, I like to,
And that's not including what you park inside the building.
Which makes more sense.
I just want to be able to go there and simply count the cars and say, you have 52 or you have 75, whatever you're allowed 50, whatever the number is, it doesn't matter to me, but that's beneficial to have the maximum cars for sale in the approval.
So the old stuff and the new stuff need to be in a document, correct?
Does it need to be
Dave says yes.
in a document, or does it just carry on from the old document? The lawyer stuff
The old
confuses me.
document was for an old approved use. The new document is for the use that has been proposed that you will accept or not accept.
So is it for the site plan only with all former contingencies
In place.
ongoing in place?
You're advised to include, insert, and identify those former conditions in your present action.
Okay, so we're gonna need that.
If they are
for the-
directly applicable to.
Can you dig that up?
Can you get that to Mr. Dominguez, Dave?
I can get, once you send it to me, you have the minutes from 2022,
The excerpt minutes, yeah.
yeah, the excerpt minutes.
And we're doing that so we have a good record going forward on what what's
It's more
approved and what's
understandable
enforced.
for everybody if we're reading off the same script of music. I mean, we all have the same thing,
Okay.
no disputes in it, or lesser.
the minutes that I have, I don't think include the motions, because they were probably from the work session. I have to double check.
I'll have to see if
So-
they're around.
Okay.
They need to be found.
Please find those and get them to Mr. Dominguez, so you can put this to bed.
Cheryl, you probably get those to him, right?
Yeah.
Because she'll have access to them and he doesn't.
If I
We'll
may.
have them for you by 8:30.
I can give you the dates. I have July 7th, 2021. And the other one was,
Well, I would hand that to Mr. Dominguez and save yourself,
Well, I want to make sure that we have the same ones, the ones that you want us to address.
Well, I'm not going back on the deal from before. I just want to make sure that everything,
You want it from the town so you know that everything's there.
and that's
Correct.
one.
I understand that.
Correct.
That makes sense.
One only, correct.
We got one only.
I don't exactly know 21. 22, there was a lot of discussion, because that was...
22, we were in here, we were called in because you asked me to come in, and that's when we put the bollards up, because there were, Mr. Altheimer and Norm were fusing a little bit over that drive line. That's when
Why
you
can't
had-
you keep these guys in line? It's your property.
I don't have a badge, I can't put them in jail, you know?
So the only one we have is from July 7th, 2021. If
There's
there's
more.
any other more than that, we don't have them.
There's more you need to
I have the
know.
one from April 2025, but that is for the auto touch, which is the other lot, which we're not here for.
It's not a-
Well, it kind of does because Norm's current business is on that lot, but he's asking now for,
Mr. Dominguez, that's why this is all blended and
Yeah, right.
kind of messy.
I-
That's why it's, nobody's being difficult here, but we have to
Yeah,
have
yeah,
it,
no,
we have to
no,
have it correct.
I didn't take it that way.
This is existing, this one business is on existing non-conforming piece of property, and the other part of the business is on a conforming piece of property with a bunch of waivers. So we need it all cleaned up, so I would make sure he has all those.
he's got the two official ones, the one
Yeah.
from the.
And not to throw anybody under the bus at all, but for over a year, I was asking, what does he want us to do? Send me the ordinance to the other, I believe, town manager is no longer here, and I don't want to throw him under the bus because he's not here. I just want to let you know that we were trying to get all that information before we even came here. And then he gave us a particular, minutes, and it didn't apply. And I explained to him, I said, this is not the right one.
Well, there, Mr.
But we
I
don't
heard-
have them.
I heard this, I heard that several times.
Yeah.
Okay.
The ordinance, there was not an ordinance drafted, there was an agreement for the use. And that's what you should have been given.
It wasn't given.
Let's just
Well,
make,
I can't,
let's make sure that.
I
I just want to say that we've been
Yeah.
trying. We've
Yeah.
not been dilatory, we've not been obstructions or anything.
I'm totally aware.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Cheryl will get it all together.
Yes, I'm done.
Get it all
That's
together,
what you
get to
need?
Mr.
Yeah.
Dominguez,
Okay.
can't you?
And we got what you want us to do in terms of the site plan. I wrote it all down.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we just need, make sure that everybody understands what's been approved
Correct.
already and what's, so we got a clean record going forward.
Bob, do you have anything else?
No, thank you.
Jim? Chuck?
No, I
Pete? Everybody good? Know what's going on?
We're good.
We're back in 2 weeks.
Back in 2 weeks.
Yeah, if it's all ready to go, I mean, 2 weeks to be in
It won't be
for
ready to
approval.
go.
I'm sorry?
He said it won't be ready to
It will
go.
not be ready to go in 2 weeks. We have
Let's go
Fourth
back
of
to another
July,
work
we
session.
have tonight, we have a handful of days left before 2 weeks from now on the calendar as it closes. Let's be realistic, please. Otherwise, you're gonna drive your staff into the ground with a corkscrew.
I don't wanna do that.
You're gonna, we're short help here.
Please, whatever you have in draft, please get it to Dave and Tim.
We'll see what they got. If they got it ready, they don't, come back.
We'll have it ready.
It seemed like we're gonna see you in a month.
Well, what we'd be waiting on is the minutes copies of the minutes from next door, which we probably it's gonna take a little longer.
All that has to be deciphered.
Well, I know those minutes are available online, we can pull them in 10 minutes.
You know, Dave can answer that.
I can't direct your traffic here in the town hall.
Yeah.
We're short help here.
I mean, we can pull up the minutes ourselves and submit those before the next meeting, if that's,
Rob's gonna get him the minutes in the morning.
I can give them one.
I think for the benefit of Mr. Majewski's attorney, he probably wants those documents from the town so he can review all of it, so nobody can say something was left out. Am I right?
Right, I mean, I do, but I do want to exercise
I do,
a move moving
and
forward.
I do as well, and I'm okay
If we can do
with,
a combination, that's good.
if we've got it together in 2 weeks,
We'll hear it. If it's not together,
if
then
it's not together,
Work
it's gonna have
session.
to go to the next work session.
Important thing is you're here and it's not business as usual.
And I don't know, I mean, we've got a lot of problems here internally that we're sorting through, so I don't wanna put any undue pressure on our staff.
Right.
But I wanna make sure that it is town-generated documents that you have.
Right, right.
correct. Okay?
So, we'll do the best we can, everybody will do the best we can, but if it fails, it fails.
You know what month Altair was?
22?
Looks like it, Altair was,
20,
I'd say Cheryl some more.
22 sounds right.
the program was
You know, some month.
July 7th, 2021, Planning Commission public meeting,
7.
July 7th, 2021.
Well, what happened with 2022?
That could be the body shop.
No, body shop was April 16th,
But there's,
2025.
Cheryl, there's 6 pages, just an excerpt of 2022 for this same piece of property.
2022 was not anything we were, they come in and asking for it. Jerry had asked me to come in
Okay.
to discuss.
So what you already gave me
I already gave you was,
is the 2021.
right.
What about the February 10th, 22?
That was when we came in, when we requested to come in because there was parking issues. We weren't officially requesting anything at that point. I was just asked to come attend a meeting to discuss some parking issues over there. That had nothing to do with any approvals, no votes had taken place. The only 2 items that were in a public meeting, obviously, was the Altair edition in 21 and the Auto Touch edition in 2025.
Well, there had to be something when he got his original approval.
Him? Yeah, oh, sorry. He's been here for a long time.
10 years.
I'm looking at the
At that
BZA
time, he was in the
minutes.
out.
Well, there's BZA minutes too. that have to be-
BZA minutes from February 10th of 22.
Well, see, there's a lot to go through here. There's BZA stuff also.
And then I get to my original proposition, we're here just for an expansion of the parking area, not changing any structure or anything else, or adding parking, or blacktop, or the use of the property other
Well-
than just the parking.
Mr. Dominguez, I'll say it again, what I asked Dave and what I asked you, there were conflicting answers.
Correct.
So,
Typical
let's get it
lawyer,
over.
I might
And
add.
he's our legal advice.
Listen, I'm thinking neither of you golf,
Yeah.
because it would never work. We need to get stuff on paper. Tim doesn't have a problem.
What I want is that everything to be agreed to and then enforceable after that. And there's
Correct.
no argument. You agreed to this,
Correct,
there's no argument.
correct.
So,
We're on plan with that, and 53 spaces, and here we go.
so,
All the other stuff that takes good record on all the other approvals that it's had and the waivers that it's had, and there's a lot of them, that needs to be in there for good record, am I right?
To the extent it exists, yes.
so,
You know, if they've already approved and they're there, they're there. I mean, we're not,
And my
and I
question-
got it, what you're saying, but.
My question would be, we're here for lot 1. Most of those waivers that you're discussing were for the other lot. So do we have to, is
the
our,
whole,
Robbie, that may be true. I don't know. I don't
the
know.
whole property was waived for stormwater. Was waived for a lot of civil stuff.
there's been, those have been separate lots forever, Jerry, so the whole property couldn't have been waived. It was waived
But what-
individually when we did.
When we're using the whole property as one thing, and it's not one thing, it's 2 separate things,
So my question-
legally, it's conflicting.
Well,
So-
we're in here asking for a chapter 17 waiver on lot 1.
Mhm.
So does that need to change? Because technically now you're saying that's not what we're asking for. Now we're trying to encompass the
No.
whole adjacent property.
What waivers were applied to the body shop?
That was where all the waivers were.
No, I meant when the body shop extension was done.
Yeah, that's where all the
So,
waivers you're talking about. that
so the
was-
waivers, but the waivers from 21 and 22 were also for the whole property.
How can it be, we're only one lot subdivision for lot one? That'd be like me, you know, getting one for my home and my neighbor has to.
I guess what I'm not confused about. Rail side's beautiful.
Well, thank you.
Engineered site plan. I mean, it was turnkey. And we're standing here talking about this.
And I understand, Jerry, but there's a
So-
lot of these in town, and it works, and no one's complaining. Do we have some parking issues? Yes, we need to clean that up.
We can't-
Yes. We don't need to turn this into this gigantic drama.
We can't have this going on here and then tell somebody, oh, here, they can't.
You do it all the time.
Who does it all the
For
time?
site Chapter 17 waivers all the time. I've gotten 3 or 4 myself. We come in and we present it, each case stands case by case. You know, what happens on this property is not the same that happens on this property. You come in here, you make your case.
That's not,
In my case,
some of this is BZA also. So let's not be blending things.
but we're not here for
Let me
BZA.
let me
We're
ask
here
you a
for
question in the middle of
Chapter
this.
17 site plan.
Norm, what year did you open that business?
2016?
2016. I assure you that there were approvals and conditions when he opened that business in 2016. I'm positive there was.
There's always been a car lot, there've been a car.
I understand that,
I don't
Rob.
recall, I never was here for that. But maybe, but I.
I am
forget
positive.
everybody.
Did we have requirements in 2016?
Was it car lot?
Yeah, he had an approved site plan that was approved, that's where he got the 25 cars that he was allowed, and,
That's what I'm talking about.
it was his occupants.
So the Secretary of State, I remember in the minutes, you said he can't have any more than was this the Secretary of State?
That's what we had discussed.
So the Secretary of State, so the Secretary of State is not in charge of that anymore?
That's what I understand, is how is that handled by the Secretary of State?
They come every week.
And do they count cars?
No, no, they just, they wanna make sure.
But that's not the discussion in the minutes.
No, that's what we were told at that time, that was, 2021.
It's gonna be beneficial to everybody to know what is in there all the way around.
So if we get the minutes to Mr. Dominguez and to Norm and to Rob here, and they peruse them and pull out what information they have and put the package together and bring it back to us, hopefully in 2 weeks, we can move forward. If not, at the work session, all this should be worked out, correct?
I would hope so.
I think so.
Okay, let's have a pleasant evening, and let's move
That's right.
on.
I'm happy for it.
I had another question for Mr. Dominguez. The violations on the property. Legally, those violations, any violations, belong to the perpetrator or belong to the owner? Who's responsible for the violations on the property?
I don't, I couldn't answer.
Because Rob's easier to
I couldn't
find.
answer
Rob's
right
easier
now.
to find than Norm is.
Yeah, I couldn't answer, it just depends on the violations
Okay.
and your minutes and how is that structured.
Rob, it could come to that. That's the reason why I want this to be right.
And like I said before, when I was asked the question, there's no way for me to police that. I can tell you this, because the last guy prior to Norm, we blocked the exits with dumpsters to prevent him from removing the cars, because he had some violations. And the police came down and made me move the dumpsters, because I'm not allowed to.
Let's just make sure we
So
get
my
it.
point is, I have no enforcement power.
Let's make sure that we get it right, because I know on residential properties, the property owner can be held responsible. I don't know why commercial properties would be different.
Mr. Ashen, is it different?
It isn't.
Okay.
I don't want it to come to that,
I don't either.
but I want it to be enforceable,
No,
all of it.
Right.
We want a new, clean document. That's what we want.
So we want your word and his word and an agreement signed by everybody, so we know what we got.
Yeah, and we've done that all along, like Jerry, another one, and we've complied every time.
And we're getting ready to do it again.
And that's all we ask.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, have a pleasant evening.
Thank you, happy 4th of July, everybody.
Sorry.
New business, Nathan D. Viss, final plat request, owner BSC Real Estate LLC, 2743 Highway Avenue, Highland, Indiana, 46322. Petitioner Nathan D. Viss, Viss Loss, 13830 Alexander Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Cindy of 12921 Parish Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Petitioner seeks approval for final plat. Hi.
Hi, Scott Filler, 12921 Parish Avenue, Cedar Lake.
Okay, and you're here for final plat, the preliminary was approved a couple weeks back, and nothing's changed, everything's pretty much go, huh?
You tell me. Tim, sorry.
Tim, anything?
The only thing that we had is the second lot needs an address, but it's not a big deal, they'll have one before the 2 weeks is up. But lot one used the current address, and lot two just needs a address, but it's just a requirement of the town for the final plat, I told Nathan.
Who creates the address? I mean, I've changed it with the county before, and you just call them up and say, I want to change the address, and they say, okay.
Well, and normally you guys throw an address out there and we review it. You know, the police reviews it, or the town just reviews to make sure.
I got an email today saying that that it got sent to the police.
It was, yeah, Nathan started working on it today, because I just noticed it, and he's working on it, so I don't see it being a problem. I just wanted to bring it up, but he should have it in 2 weeks with no problem, that's the only thing
I'll take any address you guys give me.
we have. And the only, Nathan was sending the final plat to Luke today, because he had it prepared, but he didn't actually give it to Luke for review, so it's the same thing as the preliminary plat, so there should be no problems. So that's all we got.
Mr. Burke, you have anything?
No.
Commissioners,
I don't have anything.
Everything's good with you, Dave?
in 2 weeks?
Do we have the letter report of the Burke firm that identifies the surety payment responsibility, the amount, and all detail that supports that?
That's important.
Is that in hand?
Mr. Burke, did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that. I'm checking.
All right.
I just know that we reviewed the plat before and didn't see a change. If there's a new one, we'll look at that. If you need a letter report, we'll get that to you.
And we should have that within 2 weeks?
Yes.
That's okay. Then we get that, then we're all set to go, correct?
This is the surety.
Improvements on final plat. This is the surety that identifies the improvements that are being covered by the amount paid because of the actions they're taking to go forward now versus waiting waiting.
Okay.
We need to know that the bank is prepared to, or it's the bank, I don't know if it's a bank. Whomever the financial lender is that is going to provide that surety also. There'll be a specimen letter of credit form.
Mr. Burke, that's not something that's gonna come down to the wire to get, is it?
No.
The surety documentation?
I don't believe it will.
Okay, all right. Got nothing else.
Down to the wire has taken on new meanings in the last couple of weeks here in town.
Boy, I'm telling you.
Well, I'd rather make sure the experts have looked it over as opposed to have it handed out up here.
Correct. You have something, Chris?
I don't know. But that's
So,
right.
we get that, we should be good to go in 2 weeks?
You should, at least from the legal document perspective.
Yes.
Yes, okay. All right, see you in 2 weeks. Thank you, sir. Number 2, Little Scots Academy site plan waiver, owner, Martin Mitrisik, 716 Southeast Street, Crown Point, Indiana, 46307. Petitioner Melissa Martin, 5814 High Grove Court, Lowell, Indiana, 46356. Cindy of 13201 Moore Street, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Petitioner seeks plan waiver for Little Scouts Academy, a private micro school serving preschool through 2nd grade. Good evening. Name and address for the record, please.
Yeah, Melissa Martin, 5814 High Grove Court, Lowell, Indiana.
Okay, tell us what you want to do, please.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm here with my site plan proposing the, kind of like my parking plan as well as a monument signage and proposed fence. I'm not sure, sorry, it's my first meeting ever. Did you guys receive this?
Yeah, we have it.
Perfect, okay. One of my things, I'll start with the fence I'm proposing. In the area, there is a open grass area. Approximately, I only need a fence off 30 by 60 feet. of that area. It is actually larger than that. It's around 45 feet to 76 feet of space, and it was recently surveyed by the owner. For the fence, I'm looking to do a black decorative fence, and then for safety precautions, I was going to be putting in the bollards on the west and south side, just because there is the parking lot off of the west side, and then there is some extra parking that I believe the fitness center uses a little bit distance away, and just as a precaution, I was gonna also put bollards in on the south side of the fence as well. That space is just used for outdoor learning or play. For the signage is a monument sign, approximately only like 5 feet of height, 5 feet of width, and it'll have just foliage shown on the picture with some landscaping lights, so it's not an illuminating sign. And it will be approximately it's about 14 feet off the road, just to follow the ordinances. As well, kind of in that pitch area of the property, just because the property does extend almost to that adjacent fence of the fitness parking. And then, well as the parking plan, there is 10 spaces. This is considered a micro school, so for the first year there is only about 15, 20 kids, and then the max down the road would be 30. I obviously went off of the max that I'm going to be permitted to have per the micro school regulations. With those parking spaces, there will be only a max of 30 staff members on site, and then just to keep with the ordinance of the 0.2 times per student, approximately I only need about 8-9 spots just to stay in the limits. But it is a drop-off, so approximately my open window of drop-off and pickup is an hour and a half to 2 hours, so not only adequate parking, but also because I have staggered parking and they're only there for 3-5 minutes tops, and leaving, and it's staggered for an hour and a half to 2 hours of before and after, just keeping a nice easy flow that maybe there might be only 2-3 people at max parking at the same time. Yeah, I believe that's it. That's what I'm proposing.
I read all your data you submitted, I must say you did a fine job on that. And,
Thank you.
It was very informative, at least to me.
Yeah, I have a business as well in Crown Point, so I've kind of it was the owner mostly doing the talking, and I drew up the plans for them, but here I was like, I wanted to be as prepared as possible, just because of the timeline I have before fall.
You did all this?
Oh, yeah, everything.
You probably should leave your business card laying on the table.
Oh, thank you. I got a lot when I sent it to the owner of the building, Martin, as well as the agent, my lawyer. My lawyer was like, wow.
This is better than some site plans, real site plans.
I tried to get as detailed as possible. I didn't want to miss anything, and then make sure I followed all ordinances as much as I could.
I had 2 questions. Which fence were you planning on doing?
90% of the way, I'm most likely going to do the vinyl coated chain link fence, the black vinyl coated. I probably will add a little bit of
Is that 6
foliage.
foot? Is that 6 foot or 4 foot or?
It's going to be 4 foot high, and then the bollards have to be at least 42 inches above the ground.
And
so
down,
it will be
up
4
and
feet.
down?
Huh?
Above and below?
Yes.
Yeah. Any consideration of bollards in front of the building itself, especially along the short parking area there to the long wall?
I did not have that proposed, no.
Okay. Tim, this doesn't fall into a fence in the front yard waiver, does it?
It would, probably, yes.
Okay.
I was under the assumption when she came in that it was gonna be the wrought iron fence in between the bollards.
But this is business, isn't it, up there? It's not residential, is it?
It's kind of like residential, because it's off of Morris and it's peaked out kind of.
It's still a commercial.
Oh, but it's commercial, yeah.
Yeah, I think just the industrial areas don't need a fence.
But she needs a variance for the front yard? Or no?
She needs a variance of use for the school and the building.
So she gotta go to BTA?
Yeah, I'll be at BZA in August 13th.
But that's for the fence in the front yard?
Well, if she's gonna do the chain link, we have to add that on there. I was under the impression it was gonna be the aluminum fence. from the
Well, it
back.
says on your proposal here,
She has one or the other.
preferred option. And then you said, then you have alternate option.
Yeah, I was just going off of my, like, financials right now, but if it needs to be, the ornamental fence of a wrought iron, I could definitely do that.
It would just be the front of it, wouldn't it?
I'm fencing all four sides.
It would just be the two sides where the ballards are, and then the other.
Yeah,
side-
The other side, chain link's fine.
Yeah,
I just mentioned the bollards in front of the building, so obviously we don't have any problems there either.
yeah, okay.
I used to run Project Love Food Pantry in that building.
I was gonna say, I heard it used to be one.
Our clients would come in, by where you got your, check-in, and then, it didn't have the office, and it was, all the space was open.
Mhm.
And when we were in there was only one bathroom, so now there's two bathrooms?
There's two bathrooms.
And then they would exit out the door by the garage door, and I've been on top of the roof, I know the building all over on the inside of what it used to be, but it's highly improved.
Oh, absolutely. The
Tim, do you
building's
have
beautiful
anything else?
inside.
No, sir.
Anything from engineers? No?
Nope.
Commissioners have any other questions?
Does she need to add that fence to the variance process? I don't wanna hold her up.
She should, she needs,
If
she
you
needs.
want to do the chain link, if you do the aluminum decorative between the ballards, you're good.
Okay, and we're just talking that outdoor, because when you say,
The outside.
in the front, you're just talking
I'm talking where the ballards are, basically, because.
on the west or south side, Ballard?
Basically, both sides.
Both of them? Okay,
The
so,
other two sides would be in the front.
okay.
Are you gonna be at the BZA next week or next month?
They said my timeline was too tight for the, so I'll be at the next month one. They said my timeline was too tight for the July
Okay.
9th.
Okay.
So again, Tim, does she need two variances, chain link and front yard? Or does she just need the chain link?
Only if she uses chain link in the front does she need a variance, correct?
Correct, yes, sir.
Okay, and I can, oh,
Yeah, if she puts the decorative fence in between the ballards on both sides, she does not need a variance at all for fencing. She just needs a variance of use for the school.
okay, okay.
That's how the fencing gets a waiver automatically.
That's what when we met that, I was under the impression that
I don't know what
that decorative was going in between.
I don't know what the price difference is,
Yeah,
but, you're gonna put the bollards there no matter what, correct?
yeah, no matter what, they're going there.
Maybe less trouble to put the decorative fence up than wait for the,
Yeah.
I don't know what the money looks like.
Yeah,
we
no,
don't-
I mean, I
we don't
was
make
just
decisions.
doing chain link, because I was like, oh, I could just
We
put
don't-
that up, but if there is a
We don't-
requirement of that, then I'll just do the whole thing even,
Well, that's what you need to get the details from
Okay.
him, because
If you do
he'll
want to
save you
do
a
the
lot.
chain link, we need to add that to your variance request.
Okay, I'll just do the other fence, just to not complicate things.
So basically, she goes to BZA next month, she will not have to come back to a work session. Goes to the BZA and she gets approval from BZA. She could be at the,
Well, we were hoping for you to have her to come to this work session and then come in 2 weeks for your guys' site plan approval, contingent on her BZA.
Approval at the
I
BZA.
think that's fine.
Because
That's
that
fine.
way it doesn't slow, she needs to be
that's fine.
ready to go here for school, so that's our fastest timeline we could.
I don't have a problem, we don't have a problem.
That was the intention, was to do that. So basically, your site plan waiver would be contingent on her getting the variance of use.
Right, so she's gonna put the fence up, so she doesn't need any variances and that on that. And then, so she can come back in 2 weeks
Okay,
and, get your approval, be contingent upon you being approved by the BZA,
okay.
and, that's that.
I
Okay.
have a question.
Yes.
How many employees do you have and what's the parking for them?
So it would be 3 employees max there.
And they're gonna park in this lot, so they're
Yes,
taking up
that
3
lot.
spots?
Yes,
Okay.
Okay?
And it said that she needed 0.2 parking spots per student, which came to 7, right?
yes.
So, yeah, so
Actually, it's 6,
she has,
sorry.
yeah, I think you have 1 extra parking
Yeah.
spot by the calculations with her employees, so she was good there.
And will you have student parking?
Will I have student parking? Like me,
Student
myself?
parking.
No, they're too young.
I was just like, I don't know, they can't drive.
Good thing I'm not a comedian, huh?
You got, it went right over me.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. That was a good try. Okay, where am I at here? Number, 3, Lakeview Business Park lots 17 and 18, site plan review, owner CLBD South LLC, Avenue, Baltimore, P.O. Box 488, Dyer, Indiana 46311. Petitioner E3 LLC, Andrew Baltimore, 13729 Wicker Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Cindy of 13710 Osborne Street, Cedar Lake, Indiana, 46303 and 13720 Osborne Street, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Petitioner is requesting approval to install a 6-foot security privacy fence around lots 17 and 18 in Lakeview Business. Good evening. Name and address for the record, please.
Andrew Boltman, 916 Alderbrook Court, Crown Point, Indiana.
Tell us briefly what you want to do, sir.
Just put a fence around, lot 17 and 18 of Lakeview Business Park. It'll be a 6-foot PVC fence.
Are those lots vacant?
18 is occupied with Action Plumbing, and 17 is vacant. You guys should have the drawing.
No, I don't.
You have a rolling gate there on 18.
What's that?
A rolling gate?
Yep.
That PUD agreement doesn't allow fencing in there?
It does. I don't know why I'm here, actually.
That's,
I have it in the PUD.
it's because it's chapter 17, but it's not really a site plan if you're not.
Yeah.
It isn't. It should be part of the PUD plan.
Correct.
And the
It's an improvement.
development agreement.
Correct.
It's in this PUD agreement.
It's in my PUD.
Yeah, it's in the development agreement.
I'm good.
Yeah, I don't have any questions. Anybody else?
No.
So I have a question. Do I have to go to the next meeting? I mean, this should go straight to permitting. It's in my PUD.
Well, we have to approve it.
This isn't an official meeting. This is a
Well,
work
I
session.
understand
It'll get
that.
approved.
That's why I'm asking that
Get
question.
approved at the next
Doesn't
meeting.
need to be here.
But, yeah.
I don't think you need to be here for that, does he?
Subject to proof of the development agreement precluding it, yes, I agree, it would,
Well, you guys have that.
as I've seen the petition.
It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
So he does not have to be here?
No, he needs to be here until he doesn't have to be. We'll figure that out over the next couple of days after we move, some used cars around on grass.
Out of the grass.
Get out of the grass.
We're back to an old spot.
Wait, my property's not married to that property, all right?
No, it is not.
Could arrange it.
But there is a close relationship,
Okay.
according to the picture.
Yeah.
We'll find that out in the next.
So we may or may not see you in 2 weeks.
Okay.
All right?
Good. I'm assuming staff will let me know.
They'll let you know.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, letters of credit. Beacon Point, Unit 6, performance letter of credit in the amount of $133,733.95 to expire on July 27, 2026. Mr. Burke, what do we have with that? Do you anything, you know, or?
Yes, so, they're proposing to, roll over those performance letter credits, and, the 2 units into a single, maintenance letter credit. They're still addressing some of the items. I believe that they have until July 27th when the letter of credit expires. So there's still some outstanding issues, but, no issue with going with a single letter credit.
To extend it, you said?
Yeah, it's, the items have to be, the letter of credit expires July 27th.
Right.
And so there's another there's another meeting before then that all the issues should be resolved.
Okay.
Agreed, Tim?
They plan to have everything finished in the next 2 weeks. The paving has been completed. They're finishing their punch list, and they will be ready to convert to maintenance at the public meeting.
Okay.
And those can be combined into maintenance.
Correct.
Okay, and we've got plenty of time at that meeting if there's a problem.
Absolutely.
All right, that sounds good. All right, number 3, Birchwood, Phase 1, 3, 5, maintenance letter of credit in the amount of $395,168.95 to expire on August 16, 2026. We got time on that.
Yep, we're finishing, they've been inspecting everything and cleaning that up and going through the motions of finishing up, so we're on track. Everything is rolling in the right direction.
Okay, sounds good there. Update, Cedar Lake Store, phone center credit extension received on 6/25/26 in the amount of $7,700 to expire on August 1st, 2026. I see the sidewalk is in, they still need to do some grading around it though.
Yep, they still gotta do some grading and move mailbox, but now they have till August 1st, so.
Yeah, so there should be no
They
problem.
did extend it for that 4 weeks, so hopefully we won't be there on August or July 28th.
Hopefully they'll move faster than they did for the last 5 years.
I'm sure, hopefully it'll be done.
Springs eternal.
But the concrete is poured, so.
You said it out loud.
Okay. Discussion item, Surf Internet. Yes, sir, come up and give us your name and address, please.
Sure. Pat McCauley, I'm from Surf Internet, 3325 Middlebury Street, Elkhart, Indiana.
All right, I'm gonna ask, Flip, do you have any comments on this, or?
I guess just a little bit of background. We've met, the town, or myself and utilities have met with Surf and Direct Line at the beginning of the project every other week, and now it's every month. We've had good communication. As far as I know, because of that communication, there's nothing been hit except for maybe one unmarked multi-grounded neutral. We have a process in place for resident complaints that has worked. We're updated on that weekly. To date, with all the thousands and thousands of feet of duct put in, there's only been 16 complaints from residents. All of those have been satisfied. This situation in Cedar Point Park, I knew nothing about until I was remotely watching the stream. And it really took me by surprise. So I don't know where that communication broke down. And so that's where we're at. I think that if I were to
There's some
receive...
issues down there, because one of them is Mr. Recupano's, and they've got their infrastructure on his property.
I agree that if they are on private property, it needs to be dealt with. I have no objection to that, but no one, until that meeting, had said a word to me, or I would have been on the phone with any one of these gentlemen in 60 seconds.
I think there's more than one property in Cedar Point Park that is gonna have to get addressed.
I went and GPSed every structure there Monday. I was there Saturday talking to residents to make sure.
How many do you think there is?
How many structures?
How many structures are on private property?
Oh, if that's dependent on if the GIS is accurate. So we're only as good as the information that we have. But if I had to venture a guess, less than 10.
Okay. That's a big number, though.
But the number of structures there is significant, I will say that. We met Friday with Surf, Direct Line, and Troyer, Mr. Kubiak and I, just to have like a pre-meeting to make sure that everybody's on the same page, what the complaints were, what I've heard from residents down there, and a couple of minor issues that we had talked about early on in the project that weren't really happening, but those were just minor issues with signage, and making sure that everybody was credentialed and there were signs on all the vehicles. But we as of this date, this is the first time I've really heard of any issue, other than minor issues that residents called in and have been dealt with. So, but I'll defer to Surf because this is their world. You know, they deal with a lot of communities. I do communicate with other communities just because I've been working in this county for 34 years. I'll say we're blessed that we haven't had the hits that other communities had, but I think it's just because of that dialogue that we've had early on with police, fire, building and planning, town management, you know, and IT, but I'm just, you know, I plug things in the walls and help people with their phones, so.
Well, that email that you sent out, that I received, it sounds like it's under control as far as communication and resolving problems and what have you. If it hadn't been in the past, but it sounds like it was pretty good until this one little glitch.
Well, the problem is we let Cliff take 2 days vacation, which we messed up right there. That's the problem.
Well, who allowed that?
I don't know.
Okay.
He left.
I was at a conference, so.
He's no longer with us.
He wasn't even on vacation. He just-
No, he said he was at a conference. Was it in Orlando or something?
Indianapolis.
Let me hear your version of it.
But we did have an individual come in here and rant and rave with us, and,
Yeah, I wanna hear his version.
you're letting other people talk. I should have the same opportunity.
I know, but I asked him, and then you jumped in there. So, after he tells me that, you can talk, but I asked him first.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
So everything Cliff has mentioned is, in my opinion, completely true. We've had very clean work. We also found out about this, possible right-of-way private property issue on the afternoon of the 17th. You guys had your meeting, the resident came in and made his statements, and then we got the request to stop working, which we immediately did, and have not done anything else since that day. I will say this, we think we had bad information, and so we are putting, we're putting some things in place. Troyer Group, who is our engineering firm that, does all of our drawings, checks on, you know, right-of-ways and all that kind of stuff, has visited Lake County, in person, at least twice, maybe 3 times since last Wednesday. Lots of communication over the phone and email, so we're making sure we have the most updated plat information from the county. And so, all that to say, if we do find out we have stuff on people's private property, it will 100% be remediated, it'll be taken care of, it'll be taken out, their yard will be restored to its previous condition, if not better, and we have no problem doing any of that.
How long is that gonna take?
It depends on how much there is, and like I said, we have not come back and we have not done anything yet until we had this meeting. I didn't want anybody from SURF or Direct Line to, you know, to be seen until we came into an agreement. So, let's just say, how many feet are in that serving area? I know, 20,000? Let's roughly, that's most of our serving areas. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, it's half of that. It would probably take us 3 weeks to take it out and restore everything, if that's the number, and I don't think it is. I think we believe most of the we're still working on getting all the information from the county. We believe most of the issues are on 134th and Cedar, and those couple little roads, I can't remember the names of them right now, kind of in that little corner, basically. So, that's what I would say.
I think, I would agree, I would.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
I'm done.
Okay. So I will say this, one thing we need to do is, right now our conduit is all sitting empty. We have no way to locate it, how our business works, how SURF does it. Once we put our fiber in the ground, that's how we locate it after the fact for other people that are digging around our stuff. So we had to go in and put what's called locatable mule tape in all the conduit. Then we can figure out exactly where it is. I mean, we generally know where it is because the drill marks, they put dots on the road as the drill's going through. So we pretty much know where it is, but we want to be 100% certain we know exactly where the conduit is. So we had to do that first in the areas we think there's a problem, and then measure things off, and then, and like I said, then take it out if we have to.
Using the same contractor on all these projects, it's the same vendor?
No.
So you got multiple vendors?
100%, yeah.
What we got here is a vendor problem?
I don't believe so. Like I said, I think that our engineering firm just we had inaccurate information. And I can't say why or how we got that information. We got it from the GIS and the normal ways we do, and we have since learned, since this issue, that we may have had some bad plat maps, and that's why we're engaged more directly with the county and asking different questions to the county to make sure we have the right data. I would say that in
Is their
all
data
of...
gonna be the same as ours? What the county has on maps and what we have on maps?
They have they'll have the actual plats.
Yeah.
And that's where you're gonna see the right-of-ways. The GIS doesn't really show right-of-ways well, if at all, and
So
that area
here's my
itself.
concern.
Yes, sir.
We're not always in the right of way in Cedar Lake.
Absolutely.
So, just because it says it on a piece of paper doesn't mean that's where it is.
And that's why we go to the plat, sorry not to interrupt, that's why we are using, now we are digging deeper into the plat maps, because that is the true tail sign, and only counties have plat maps. They have to come from the county, and they're all on paper. Sometimes, we're actually fortunate, Lake County is actually ahead of any other county I've ever seen, that they actually have them digitized and electronically, so we are gathering that information.
So the gentleman, no, they don't.
Really, yeah.
The 134th.
Yes, sir.
That's a fairly new arrangement, the home and everything.
Mm-hmm.
The gentleman who was in here.
Sure.
What the county has may not match what was done and approved here in the overlap. So
Okay.
there may be some more homework.
Absolutely.
There may be some more homework. The other
Yep.
question I had was, the directional boring can hook left and right, correct?
Yep, 100%.
So it's possible down on Cedar Street, your line is not under somebody's foundation. It's hooped around the front, as it seems to be, because I looked at this one. I saw it by land and by sea. At the end of Cedar Street, where that garage is, there seems to be one of your conduits there.
Okay.
And I think the assumption was it went under the garage. My hunch is it did not go under the garage. It
Right.
hooked around.
That's what
front from the
should,
next one.
yeah, like say you've got a structure here, and then a
So-
structure on the other side, sorry, yeah, we could go around.
So it also was mentioned to us by the gentleman who was in here, that there's areas in the roadway, in the blacktop, that were compromised from the bottom. Shallow.
Correct?
Yeah.
Yep, yep, and again, we were made aware of that on Wednesday, and we have a remediation plan, so.
I'm quite certain that your list is quite detailed, because these two guys are involved.
100%.
And Skip.
Yeah.
Skip usually knows what he's talking about, so.
Sure.
So
You're gonna
three
get
weeks.
this- You're gonna get this resolved before you're gonna wanna start working again, right?
Absolutely. I mean, you guys are the boss, but yeah.
We'd really like that.
I understand, yeah, absolutely, yeah. So, yeah, so I guess my question is, do we need to wait until the meeting on the 15th? Or can we start putting our mule tape in, locating our stuff, starting on Monday?
I think you need to mark it, get it
Okay.
marked.
Yeah.
Get it marked, let whoever know that this is R&D, and,
Yeah.
see if there's a conflict, then somebody will show you a paper if there is.
Okay.
But yeah, getting all this.
Yeah, no, I'd like, just on record, yeah, no digging, no messing with anything. We are going to, there are some spots that we want to use an air compressor, so people are gonna see like a truck with an air compressor, so we're gonna
Mhm.
shoot it with air so we can get it in faster.
Get the tape in, yeah.
Exactly, yeah, but there will be no digging, no drills, no nothing. So we'll start that hopefully on Monday, might be Tuesday. And then, yeah, we'll figure out exactly where the conflicts are, and then we'll come up with a plan to remediate it.
Dave, does that conflict with any action that was taken?
No. So I would like to also address a couple other things. I watched the meeting after the fact. So, there was a comment made about, like having someone on site at all times. SURF has a new, I guess a new person starting on Monday. That person is going to be dedicated to only Cedar Lake, once we get going again. We're expanding our workforce, and we're putting some people in key areas that we just want to make sure we've got a little more oversight on.
So you'll have one person communicating with one or two people?
Yes, I will have one person here who is employed by SURF, who will always be on site at Cedar Lake with the crew working. Direct Line also has a person that is dedicated to that crew, and then this guy, Mike, is my overall construction manager, and he's the one that usually has the meetings and the communication with Tim and Cliff. So, so there's that. Excuse me, you know, there was a comment made about English-speaking workforce. We do our very best to make sure that they can communicate with residents, and that's, again, why we're gonna put an inspector here, and we're gonna do some different things about, being able, you know, having them be able to identify themselves and get somebody to the right person, you know, 'cause they could be around the corner at the time and that kind of thing.
Sometimes it doesn't make a situation better.
100%, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So are we gonna have, can we have an update in 2 weeks with this?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Do you want us to come back, or do you just want us to communicate, update with them and decide?
If these guys say you're doing what you're supposed to, I'm good with it.
Okay, all
I
right.
got a question,
Yeah.
in this area, along with some other areas, I know there's a lot of clay tiles that are drainage.
Mm-hmm.
What's to prevent you guys from going into that?
So
With the clay
unfortunately-
tiles and breaking it and finding out later?
Yeah, so, this is one of the things that we addressed when we first came through all the other meetings. So there is no way for us to know that, because you can't locate them. It's very common with sewer drains, that kind of stuff. All I can tell you is that if, 6 months down the road, a year down the road, I mean, I'm not lying, even if it's 10 years down the road, we will take care of it. It happens, there's nothing we can do about it. And that's why we are not a company that just closes its doors and runs. We're a member of the community. We've been in business for 27 years. In one way or the other, we're not going anywhere. So all I can give you is my word, like I gave you the first time. And you also have our money. And so if for some reason we didn't, but yeah.
Tim, if we got clay tile on the ground, it's left over from the farming days pretty much these days, right?
Yeah.
We don't have any
They're doing all their stuff, you know, above 36 inches, basically between 18 and 24 inches, so, I mean, there is a chance, obviously, there's always a chance, like you said, but it's impossible to know, and, you know, if that stuff shows itself, I mean, the day that they were shut down, I mean, they spent the 4 hours after they were shut down cleaning up the holes, putting straw, grass seed, getting the dirt piles out of the ground. I mean, I talked to Mike, but then this road was the worst road, unfortunately, for them. But, you know, like I said, the one place you guys had mud and stuff was right here at Town Hall, but within an hour of the call, they had all the dirt gone, seeded, straw, I mean, done, like, instant. So, the reaction time so far to any complaints from these guys has been, I mean, second to none in my book, just because, I mean, from what I've experienced so far, but they have been, obviously there's some issues over there that need to be addressed. The shallow bores under the road, they said they could heat up the asphalt and re-roll them, but we did make sure to let them know in our meeting that we're not going to have any more shallow bores, you know, affecting the asphalt. I mean, if we see any more of those, it's gonna be a problem, so they gotta make sure they get down below the road base to bore under the roads.
Like any compliant road patch.
Correct, so they verified that, you know, that they are gonna make sure they get down underneath of the road bed to get the lines under the roads, you know, from here forward, so. I mean, they got those 4 spots on 134th to remediate now and see what they can do with, you know, but they seem to have a repair for it, and they're gonna be able to fix it, so we're gonna give them the opportunity to do that.
And Skip called me the next day and said they were back down there working, and then I contacted Tim, and Tim told me I'm having them clean up the debris because we don't wanna have that stuff laying around, so then I called Skip back and told him, and he said, thank you.
I know over there in Cedar Point Park and Woodland Shores, we have active drain tile that feeds into the storm drains.
Do we have a 10-year warranty with these guys?
I don't think 10.
I heard you say in 10 years you'll come back.
So
I don't remember that ever being discussed in this room.
So I think what we talked about was, you have a cash, you know, guarantee from us, and then once we are done, then you can move that to hold on to it for, if I remember correctly, we can go look at the minutes, you guys get to set, when we're done with the project, how long you'll hold that for.
Yeah, I thought we agreed on 5 years or something.
I thought that's what it was,
But
yeah.
again, it's just like NIPSCO, these guys have that orange tube bored through something that we find 10 years from now. It's just
Yeah.
like NIPSCO, I found gas lines that were for 15 years through a storm sewer pipe. You call them, there's a yellow line running through your storm sewer. There's an orange line that, you know, what I mean, essentially, their line's running through our pipe, they're gonna fix it. Or, if they don't, we're gonna sawzall it off and fix our pipe, and they're gonna be in trouble. I mean, without some internet.
Yeah,
That's kind of
true.
I threatened that one day, and that got some people's attention.
At the end of the day.
Yeah. So, I mean, we try to do the right thing, and
So
yeah,
parallel boring is more appealing to you.
sometimes, yeah, yeah.
Definitely something that they would know, and, you know, I mean, and it happens.
Yeah.
It happens, especially since the boring is
We're
coming.
dealing with, in my hometown, I live in Millersburg, a little farm town, we built that thing 6.5 years ago. Found out about a month ago that we went through a storm drain at a corner, we're we're fixing it right now. So, I mean, it happens,
Yeah.
so.
Does anybody else have any more questions for?
No, sir.
I'm gonna grab a seat for a minute. I wanna see if there's anybody who wants to, talk for, you know, about the situation. Does anybody out there wanna talk about, SurfNet, or? Nobody out there?
Mr. Recupero called me before the meeting and just asked that he wants us to come up with a plan to get it resolved.
3 weeks seems
I thought we
feasible?
did that last meeting. You want something to say, sir?
I just got their service a couple days ago.
What, did you wanna come up here and give us your name and address for the records, please?
Doug Machok, 7105 West 133rd Place. I just got SurfNet service at my residence, and it's the best service I've had. I have never had a cable company or an internet provider. Their customer service is, like Cliff said, it's amazing. Whatever little problem there was, they were here fixing it right away. Very good company to work for, or to deal with. So, I'd say it's great to have them here, and
Okay,
it's a good deal.
thank you. Anybody else? No, well, if we have no more questions, then, we'll you can come back.
Yeah, I'll just add, yeah, I mean, we'll start, like I said, early next week, and if it goes faster, it goes faster. If it takes us a little more time, we'll communicate that to Tim, and we'll keep you guys in the loop. But hopefully we can get the mule tape in a couple of days, and then start locating stuff and come up with a plan before the next meeting, hopefully.
And Cliff, you have the hot spots?
I'm sorry?
The properties, you
Yes.
have the list of hot spots?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I sent it to them.
Yep,
Yeah, okay.
absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
A knock on the door might be good.
I can't express enough, communications is key to all of this.
I talked with them on Saturday, actually, so.
Well, thank you for coming, and thank you for,
Anytime.
meeting with, and responding.
Yeah,
as
that's, like
you
I said,
have.
that's what we're here for. Yeah. If we make a
Okay.
mistake, we'll fix it.
We appreciate it.
All right, thank you
Thank
very
you
much,
much.
have a wonderful Fourth.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. Thank you.
All right. Go ahead.
There was something introduced in the Majestic site plan waiver towards the end. I just want to get clarification on it. There was something mentioned about violations on site. Do we know there's violations on site and we're not doing anything about it, or what was the message behind that?
I think the past parking violations have been dealt with. Is that correct, Tim? Dave?
Yeah, there was just a couple of incidents where there was more cars there than was allowed, so I got that taken care of in order to move forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
That wasn't the
Which is
take
why
I
it's
took on it, but that's, okay.
Everything that's been involved over there has been about too many cars,
Okay.
or where they're parking them, so, basically.
Thank you for that clarification.
Okay. Okay, public comment. Do we have any public comment? I need your name and address again, sir.
Doug Machok, 7105 West 133rd Place, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Coming to you guys, I don't know if this would be the proper with public comment, but I was here on March 4th for a concept, a design concept for a building on my property. And I was sent to get a,
One last subdivision.
yeah, the one lot subdivision. I've been speaking and working with Mr. Kubiak on it, in reference to it. I just want to get clarification, you know, I got the pricing for the one lot subdivision and to do all this, and it's a little pricey, but I want to get some clarification that by moving forward with this, that I will be able to build the structure that we were discussed. I don't want to put money out for one lot subdivision that ain't gonna benefit, and then I'm told no.
I don't blame you for that part of it. 'Cause,
I just...
but to me, the size building you want to put on there will not fit in that properly on that lot to meet our ordinances. That's my take on it, not on how the rest of the board feels, our commissioners.
And this is, I've been very transparent about this before I even purchased the property. And I've lived next to it the property next to it for 17 years. Prior to that, there was 2 houses there that they were making meth in the houses. One caught on fire, and then the lot's been sitting abandoned, and it was an eyesore. Now, I've had...
Doug, can I interrupt you for a second? John, what you just said, I want to make sure that is the case, and I guess what I'm confused, and Nick and I had this conversation a couple times about this property, and something always comes up and I haven't had an opportunity to revisit it. But he's zoned business B1 there?
B1.
And in a B1 zoning district, is a metal building allowed? 100% metal? Because
Post-frame building?
post-frame building, yes, I want clarity on that, because Nick was under the impression, his interpretation was that a post building is allowed in B1 zoning. Per our zoning ordinance, right now, the way he read it.
Well, they did at the top of the hill, 129th place.
Yeah, and he also cited
tattoo shop.
the old Dessauer building.
Yes.
That also got a post-frame building because of its zoning, so. I know residential zoning is different.
Yep, and I believe that the Dessauer one, they got a variance for the building.
They got a variance for the building, but it was allowed in a B1 zoning district.
But the size of the building was the variance, I think, right? Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
So he's in a B1.
Same thing that he's got the issue with is just setbacks, and
Tim,
Tim,
that's what I'm trying to get clarity on, because the construction of his building is certainly gonna,
Enhance the area.
well, that's not what I'm saying. If it's allowable in a B1 zoning district, it's not gonna be nearly as expensive to build the building that he needs to build for his operation.
And that's the reason for the one lot subdivision, so it is a second accessory structure on his property.
If he
It's not
doesn't
being
do the
built
one
as
lot
a
subdivision.
standalone B1 business where he needs drainage, parking, stormwater detention, the whole deal, because it's a standalone business building on a B1 lot. He's going the one lot subdivision route, so this is a second accessory structure with a use variance to do his detail business and not a standalone. That was why he was guided in the direction of where he's going, is because he now has a house, a garage,
And a shed.
a shed. Yeah, so he would have two. He's trying to get two. When you go for the variance, you're going to ask to keep your shed, obviously, right? And then he was going to get his setbacks. But your guys's, or the recommendation from this board when he came for his concept, was to do the one lot subdivision.
Right.
So that way, this piece of,
Well,
this building is tied to.
We also gave bad
It's an accessory
information.
building.
If a post building is allowed in a B1 zoning district, we told him when he left, depending on the size we told him he couldn't do a post building at all. But it didn't dawn on me that there was a provision for B1 for a post building.
Yeah, and I would have to look, and I don't want to answer that without really looking into it, because B1 is.
Well, I think that needs to be a clear definition, because what he's doing right now is the math.
Oh, I get you, yeah.
And this is the other thing,
And I think that was, yeah,
And this
that was
is-
definitely talked about.
and that's the other thing, guys, too. Even with post frame or whatever, I'm also willing to build it stick though. There's gonna be some issues probably with the elevations. I would like to have a door, you know, going with into my driveway, if you can see. But the problem is, then we run into with the height, right? Because if I'm bringing more fill in, then that's gonna kinda mess up the area, right?
Well, I
And then-
told you could deal with the elevation by doing some block and knee wall on top of
And
that.
that was the other thing. So, I guess what I'm looking at, I know I said 30 by 52. If I don't change the elevation, and you guys do this, I mean, I'm willing to build it with stick, because my house is there, I want it to look nice.
This is all conceptual.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm looking for guidance, because I'm investing into it. I've been investing into this community for a long time. So, I'm taking it slow and want to do it right, and I want everyone's opinion and how we can do it. But just with the math, I don't want to put money out for a one lot subdivision.
That's why I want to be clear.
Yeah, and then you guys are like, hey Doug, you can't build it. And I'm like, well, I just paid over $7,000 just gone to look at a lot. And that's why I wanted to make sure even before, say, yeah, I think you can do this, you just gotta do the variances and whatever we gotta do.
Is there, the expense that you're talking about, is that in surveying?
Yeah, the
So
survey.
you don't have
So-
a relatively current survey?
No, not a good stake one.
Because
So-
we're gonna have to have that anyway.
Yeah, and-
Preliminary plat, final plat.
Yeah,
plan.
and so basically, and I sent it to Tim, what was brought to me, so it would be the base boundary survey of the existing conditions, the primary, final site plan, and then whatever fees.
Well-
And, I mean, it'll be well over $6,000.
Yeah,
which
I don't-
is fine, as long as.
My opinion is, I don't know how, without a good survey, it could be considered a BZA for something oversized and pushed around. I wasn't here for that meeting.
Yeah.
I was able just to Zoom. I think what you want to do there is a great idea, because someday it could be something else. And yeah, there's some elevation issues there that you'll have to deal with, but hey, Phil is cheap compared to all the other things.
And the thing I was also looking too, like, even with the big door going into the driveway, like, we'd have to bring it up or whatever. My biggest issue, and the reason for that big door, is if I do a boat with the bridges or whatever on it for the ski boats, I gotta be able to get it in there. So if maybe you guys could have an idea or whatever, if I could maybe even just go a little wider to where I don't have that big door and I can just back them in, or whatever the length is for the width of, so I can pull a boat in that way. You know what I'm saying? Because 30 feet, whatever a boat and a trailer would be, I mean, average boat procedure.
It gets into 30 feet quick.
Yeah, so, and I know the lots are 50. So, and I don't, we can't be on the, you can't be on the road, I get it. I just want to make sure that we're doing it right, we're doing it once, just like,
Well, unfortunately,
and
the
then we have to-
variances are unknown. A variance is
Yeah.
a variance, so
Yeah.
there's nobody here that can guarantee you a variance. And like, if you could at least maybe get the boundary survey and then get come in for your variance before you went through with the one lot subdivision, at least you got a survey, you can get a variance for the building, and then, it'll be contingent on you pulling the trigger on the.
It certainly would be nice to have a survey of property that you recently bought.
So that's a good idea for your
because
proposing.
I have them lumped together for taxes already.
Right.
So, and I get it, because you don't want a building and then you break it up and sell it
Yeah, I just
separately.
mean,
I get that.
we need to know where things are. And this is right out on the main road, so.
Tim just gave you some good advice.
Just the preliminary, the
Start with the state survey.
stake survey.
And then you can put your building on it, you can come for your variance, and your variance can be granted to you contingent on the one lot subdivision, and then you're going. You could wait, pull the trigger till you're ready, but then that way, once you get your variance, you're gonna have a site plan approval, or you don't even need a site site plan approval at that point, you just need to meet your, you have to go through your subdivision process, but then you're guaranteed, once you have the variance in hand, and then you spend the money on the subdivision, you don't have to ask the question you're asking now, you know what I mean? Because then you're...
And the money you're spending that he's suggesting, if you end up, deadheaded on left, right, 20, 30, then maybe, an engineering firm needs to pay them to do a concept for you, because we see a lot of nice stuff in here.
Yeah,
Or you can talk to that lady that just did the one up on the hill.
She did. She didn't do the survey, though.
She didn't mess around.
she was,
Did you-
very good.
That was a nice site plan.
So is his house B1?
Yes.
Yes.
His house is B1?
He's B zoning, yes.
I thought the building you want to put on there took up almost that whole lot.
No.
Takes up a decent amount, it's 30.
I thought you had some kind of a sketch showing it when you were...
Yeah, so there'll be 50 feet of frontage from the road. It's gonna be set more back by my house. So, I mean, it'll take up maybe a little bit more than half of it.
Well, ultimately, someday, when you're done with it, it could end up another B business of some kind. Of course, it could be something undesirable, but they have to come in here and talk about that, so.
Yeah,
Well, it's got a B1 use,
Yeah.
or it's a B1 zoning, so anything bigger than that would have to come in for a use variance.
It'd be wrapped up in his house,
Yeah, but it can be,
One lot subdivision?
it could be a
I'm
mini.
sorry?
wouldn't it be a one-lot subdivision, so it'd be all wrapped up with his
Yeah.
No.
other property?
Your house would be separate with one lot subdivision, right?
No,
So
no,
it's all gonna be
yeah.
on the same
Be all
plan?
together,
yeah,
yeah.
there'll be one, and that's fine. Like, I don't,
Or else he has to develop his whole property as a standalone property.
yeah. And then,
That's where he gets all the expense.
and here's the other thing too, like, even, not to cut you off, I mean, there's a drainage, we all know about the drainage issue over there, so, sooner or later, that's gonna, I wanna work with everyone to figure out, because that's gonna have to get dug up and all that construction.
Well, you're gonna have a stormwater plan for whatever you build there
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah. And I'd like to work with you guys.
Brian Kugel's on my back all the
Well,
time
no,
about
and
drainage.
every time we get a bad rain, I'm out there, I'm shoveling, I'm cleaning. Brian and I are really good neighbors together.
And you get done everything you can get done, and like I said, you may have to call an expert and say, this is what I got, I want this, but I want this.
Okay.
Where's the middle?
Okay.
We see the experts here all the time doing exactly that.
I guess out of the board, what do you guys, I mean, what is your feeling on the closed frame buildings? I know, what do you wanna see? I mean,
If
I
it's
know
allowable-
it's cheaper.
If it's allowable in a B1 zoning, we don't have much of a say in it.
I still think it has to be over an acre.
In a B1,
That's my initial response, but I got look, but I still think, I think.
well,
that-
Nikki read it pretty good, and I don't think, he
there's
didn't
any-
say nothing about an
I
acre.
don't think there's any clarity that it is allowed. It says any post-frame metal buildings.
I know that's for our one, our...
Yeah, and Dave and I worked on that together years ago and got that situation resolved. But it was just for residential. It didn't include B.
What if you just developed it on the lot itself and not tried to do it, with both properties?
I would think a lot of
Development,
variance. Yeah, it's a development.
Way more.
Way more?
involved.
Way more involved.
Sewer, water.
And the problem is, this lot would have been sitting, it was held by a land guy, someone that goes and buys lots, and it's been sitting there for years, so.
There was two different owners when the structure was still
Yeah, it
there.
was Quasnes, I believe.
Yeah, one owner owned half of the building and another owner owned the other half of the building because it had been through a tax sale. It was a
It's just a
mess.
mess and an eyesore. What is the vision? I mean, we're all residents of town. What is the vision for that corner to be to make it look with Brian's place, with the condos? I mean.
Well, the design is up to you. Two things, though. We don't make decisions up here about you wanting to spend this much or this much.
Yeah.
We can't do
No, I
that.
understand.
The other thing is that the hardware store is a post-frame building. But it's also gonna be there a long time because there's a lot of concrete curbing around it. It's not sitting in water. Stick built, of course, is nice. If you put a post and frame building up there, personally, I think it ought to have some kind of siding on it so it doesn't look like a post frame building. I don't care about a metal roof.
He's gonna do that.
Yeah, I was gonna do brick.
That's fine,
Yeah,
that's fine. I
I'm
mean,
not-
everybody likes
and-
metal roofs, and that's fine. Those are just my opinions, because I wasn't here last time you were here.
Well, I appreciate your guys' time. You gave me some direction that's really good, and I'll get that
You're
going.
getting some pretty good direction from over here.
Yeah,
And we can get things going.
When you're reviewing that too, I know we've had some hang-ups in the past, and we're looking to sort some of that out. But if the zoning ordinance doesn't not allow a metal frame building in the B1 zoning district, it would probably be handy to know if there's something somewhere else that is contradictory to that. I'm sure there is.
No way.
Well,
Yeah, I know business zone properties doesn't have the same limitations for like accessory structures and stuff, which may be good for Doug for his third accessory, since he has that shed. He may not need a variance for, since it's a business zone property, the two accessory structures aren't, I don't think it matters. I know it doesn't matter on B3, but I'm not 100% on, I mean, since all that stuff has been changed, there's a lot of, there's some, I don't want to say a lot of different things.
well, Nick noticed it as he was going through the zoning ordinance, looking for things. And,
Yeah.
and
I believe him.
I think he's right. So not that I mean, I don't have a dog in that fight. A business building is a business building, and we've certainly got them other places in these zoning districts.
But at the end of the day, I guess, yeah, and that's something we could definitely look into, but at the end of the day, he would still need to go for his setbacks and size, so.
I'm not
I mean,
disputing
if that was the only thing that he had to go for, I would say, but but we'll definitely check it out and look into it.
So his top of foundation, for example, would be against 133rd, or would it be against the road to the south of where the building, to the north of where the building's gonna be? The top of,
This what? Top of foundation.
his top of foundation measurement would be to 133rd? To Morse, I'm sorry, or would it be to the?
Yeah, I'm trying.
It would, that's kind of a pretty unique situation. I mean, we have a rule that has to be 16 inches above the curb, but on a, on a piece of property like that, you have to take into account that there's probably 8 feet of grade elevation.
I don't think we should.
I mean, we would let them determine the top of foundation, just make sure it's good, but I would say, based on the road in front of, where the doors are gonna be going into the building, we would look at.
Yes, but the front of the building is still the front of the building.
Correct, which would be facing the liquor store.
Yeah, 133rd place would be the front.
'Cause that's
It
the way
wouldn't be
doors-
Morse. It wouldn't be Morse.
That'd be inside the building, so the elevations would be looked at in reference to the garage, to the floor of the building to 133rd place. Because obviously it's gonna be 3 feet above Morse, or 4 feet above Morse.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because I've driven by there and looked at it.
So just based on where in and out of the building is in reference to the road, that's what we're gonna look at. Because obviously the topography is.
And then something, this is a question, something that runs with the land, customer parking in the gravel storm river swale along Morse will not be used? Is that a logical, request?
Oh, there is no, so cars just.
But there
He
could
doesn't
be.
have any, his variance is already for
Okay.
2 cars, and he doesn't have customer parking. I mean, he's
Okay.
still, essentially this is still, he's wanting to build this building, but he still wanted to utilize his same approval for his use variance.
I get it. I'm
Into
thinking
the
about,
building,
I'm thinking
so-
about the next person.
There should be no, the next person it's still considered a residential property with this building on it that lends itself to, it's kind of like Larry
But
Stinger's
it
property.
has B1 zoning.
Yeah, so did that had B3 zoning, but still it's another,
Yeah, no, I get it.
impossible to say what's gonna happen next, but unless we just blow everything up when somebody moves out and start over again, I mean,
Well, sometimes,
maybe we get some explosives.
sometimes.
Well, I hope we give you some
I know where
food
to
for
start,
thought.
and where to do it. And then,
Yeah.
so, get the basic survey, and then
Get that stake survey, get the survey print,
yeah,
and start drawing on it.
cool.
And then once you get a variance.
Make a bunch of copies of it and start drawing.
Start drawing on it.
A variance is only good for 1 year, so that you gotta be, I mean, when you come to do the variance, you gotta be ready to pull a building permit within a year.
Yep.
So that would be your,
Like I said-
that's up to you then, so that way.
Can you get extensions for variances?
No.
Can. Okay.
But as long as you.
happen here a lot.
Okay. It all just, I don't know what the economy's gonna do, right?
Yeah, and I don't know, yeah.
Yeah, and,
Every,
but,
but
And you
everything,
don't know, the next year you could have a whole different group of people on the BZA board, so it's kind of a, you know, I mean, you gotta, when you pull the trigger on getting the variance, I mean, for your own question purposes, once you pull the trigger on getting the variance and you get it, you
Yeah.
need to pull your permit within a year, because you go back to the next board to ask for an extension, or, you know, there's no, I mean, in BZA, there's no guarantees, I guess, so that's just.
sooner or later, you gotta pay for the survey, sooner or later, you're gonna have to pay for some engineering, sooner or later, you're gonna have to pay for it, but you have a list of things to do that you can do now, and.
Once you have that stake survey, though, it's good. An updated stake survey.
yep.
Good forever.
Need a stake survey anyways, right?
Anyway.
So,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
See you, Doug.
Do we have any other public comment? Last call? We're adjourned.